Nelson got the start. Manager Torey Lovello said first baseman Christian Walker and second baseman Ketel Marte are unlikely to return for this weekend series with the Dodgers as they work their way back from injuries. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Now, your chance at $1,000 and a trip to our iHeartRadio Music Festival. Text the nationwide keyword Vegas to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Thursday, look for mostly sunny skies. Temperatures once again slightly above those seasonal averages, topping out close to 108 degrees for today. Tonight, mostly clear skies with those overnight lows dipping into the low 80s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Sheraton at Wild Horse Pass.
Hey, it's Brooke. My family and I are so excited about our upcoming stay at the Sheraton Grand at Wild Horse Pass. They've got a great spa, great family activities, and more. Book your stay now using promo code ZX0 and receive a $100 resort credit. WildHorsePassResort.com.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy
You're live?
on Fox Sports 910.
Only Roc and Manuch today, as Jimmy B is flirting with Danny, who is our Twin Peaks girl, a little bit later in the program.
Jimmy, you think you want to join us for the show here, big fella?
Not really. She's much more attractive than you guys. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I would agree.
How old are you now, Jimmy?
Yeah,
92.
She could be your granddaughter for crying out loud.
Great
granddaughter
Yes.
for crying out loud. It's kind of creepy there, Jimmy.
Not really,
What?
because she knows he's not a threat.
You think that, but
You're too short, too.
that is not the case.
Yeah.
No, heck no. She's a nice lady. Very nice lady.
She's a nice girl. She's not a lady.
Does
yet.
she know?
She's not a lady.
She's maybe 18, 19 years old.
That's a nice
Yeah.
lady. She's over 18.
Okay,
That's
lady.
a nice lady.
Does she know you go clubbing?
I'll let her know.
We are out here at Twin Peaks in Glendale, West Side, and we are having some fun here, as you can tell, and we will for the next 3 hours. As a lot of football today, we will talk some baseball, of course, with the D-backs, but coming up in about 25 minutes, Charlie Regal, ASU getting ready for Wyoming on Saturday night. We will also catch up with our friend from the Fox Sports, or NFL on Fox, Eric Williams, as we'll kind of break down the NFC West as we get ready. A lot of storylines heading into the opener next week. And then Howard Balzer, get his thoughts on the moves that the Cardinals have been making over the last 24 hours. But we start with the Arizona Diamondbacks as Corbin Carroll, grand slam, bottom of the eighth. They were behind. D-backs win 8-5 downtown at Chase. They're playing right now. They just started. Mets are up 1-0. Carroll also had a solo shot in the fourth as the D-backs got back on the winning ways. So now they will do their best to try to get another series, something that they've had a lot of success over the last few weeks, months, I should say. And they are now one game ahead of the Padres in the wild card spot in the National League. So good win for the D-backs yesterday. Again, comebacks, whatever you want to call them, and we continue to have different monikers for this team because of some of the, what they've been doing.
Sure.
And you look at their 10th Grand Slam, which leads the majors. Second is 7. So they got 3 more Grand Slams. And what's unique about the Grand Slams, 9 different people have hit a Grand Slam. Whereas you look at these other teams, it's the same guys,
Yeah.
right? So 9 out of the 10 have hit Grand Slams for the Diamondbacks.
And I wonder with how many with 2 outs and 2 strikes on them as well, to take a look at that. I mean, the first one that Corbin Carroll hit out, 440 feet. I had no idea that kind of power.
Well, that's
the
longest
dead
he's
center.
ever hit. He's
Yeah.
never hit one that long.
I mean, but Severino comes in about 98. This exit velocity stat now left the bat about 120 miles an hour. It was up. And then the second, the Grand Slam was a slider by Diaz down and in, just kind of hung there, and he golfed that one out. Jimmy, I got to commend you. You're the reason why Corbin Carroll is doing so well the last week or so because you've been totally dissing him about the Mendoza line. So just keep dissing him.
I will.
Not that we're superstitious or anything. and he's just going to continue to be hot as he did 5 RBI last night at the top of the order this time versus down there about, 8th the night before.
I did call him out on the show. I was upset at him for hitting the Mendoza line, and that was it. Look, we all laugh at that and have some fun with it, but the guy was due. I mean, definitely due. And finally, things are starting to click for that young man, and it couldn't happen, obviously, at a better
It was
time.
about a month ago. He was about
a month ago,
$197.
Yes.
Then he got to 205.
Yes.
And then he's at 225 now. The one thing that's improved is his slugging percentage.
Yeah.
It's 414. I mean, if there's one thing that's really improved, his slugging percentage. But, I mean, you're right, the answer backs, the comebacks, whatever you want to call them, just fun to see. With the thing you notice is how selective they are with a lot of these base hits, home runs. Lourdes Gurriel is really coming on with the power. Jock Peterson hit a moonshot last night as well, too.
Has he surprised all of us by the way he has hit the baseball?
No, he's been doing that for years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I
think that's that they finally got somebody that backed up what I think they thought they were going to get out of him.
Okay.
Because you needed a guy like that. They wanted a bat like that, and they got a guy he's had a really good career.
He has, yeah.
And you're like, oh, maybe that was a throw-in, but, man, he's been able to really help.
And he was clutch with the Dodgers. I think that's the thing, too, is he's been very clutch in the playoffs, World Series when the Dodgers have had, how well and how effective he has. And I think to your point, Rocky, is he's starting to get those big hits. As a DH, I mean, he's always been a powerful hitter. It's just a matter of he can get a little streaky one way or the other.
Yes.
And I think as long as he's in check with the long ball and driving the ball, this Diamondback team will do just fine.
This team is so much deeper than they were last year.
I would agree.
If they can get in a run, if they can get the pitching that they need, who knows what they can do. I mean, for this team to be able to win like they are, be as hot as they are without Walker, and they're 20-6 or some crazy number with them. Marte out, Moreno out, and other guys are stepping up, and that just proves that they've done a great job putting together a roster that is clearly stepping up and filling holes when needed.
And for Del Castillo, 2 for 4, but you're going to give up base runners. I mean, you're going to give up steals, which a couple times he shouldn't even throw the ball down. Part of that's got to be the pitcher's got to do a better job of holding those base runners on to protect Del Castillo a little bit. But you're right. Every one of those guys you mentioned, Rock, they've got winning record with those guys out. So hopefully, I'd heard that I think Christian Walker was taking BP, and then I think Cattell has been in the cage inside. That ankle injury is really a mystery. He might have strained a ligament for him to still be out after 2 weeks. But my whole contention is, hey, look, take your time with them. It's another week and a half. Christian Walker is chomping at the bit with that oblique. Then put him in hopefully this week or get him going next week. And then with Moreno, that groin, I can tell you this, folks, that bad boy may not be ready for another 2 or 3 weeks. And that's okay. Just make sure he's ready for the playoffs.
Cardinals keep tweaking the roster. As Jonathan Gannon mentioned, this team the dust hasn't settled is somewhat of the quote he had said regarding, this roster getting into the 53. Desmond Ritter, we all know, is back on the practice squad. That was pretty obviously that obvious. It was obvious in the sense you knew it was going to happen if he was unclaimed. But
you would hope it would happen, Rock. You would hope.
You would think, but that also says that there's 31 other teams don't think he's
Yeah,
worth being on the roster.
Sure. And I think that spoke volumes. Nobody got picked up.
Because I know at first when the average fan heard, oh my gosh, they traded Rondell Moore and did all this and they cut him. They're like, what a waste of a trade that was.
I think we all mentioned that, Rob. We all said, wow, Desmond Ritter for Rondell Moore, who's a good slot receiver, who I didn't think really had a chance to reach his potential because of the way they used him.
Yeah.
But I mean, with Ritter coming in and clearing waivers like that, you bring him back for, what do you think, half the salary he was going to make. Same with Carter, coming back for probably half the salary he was going to make. And same with Barnes as well, too, coming back for half the salary he was going to make. So those are,
it was all financial.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, and if they got, I think there was one kid that got picked up, the one linebacker, he got let go, and I forget who was, picked him up. But that's okay. Now you got some depth. Now I think it's okay. So are you going to make sure that in an emergent situation you have Desmond Ritter activated for that 53-man roster when you go into Buffalo, whatever games you have. And it seems as though Jonathan Gannon has hinted that there's still competition going on with the backup quarterback scenario. So, okay, so let that all happen. I still feel they should have gone out or should go out still and find an experienced backup. Brett Rippon, who we've been singing the praises of, got picked up by the Vikings, picked him up this afternoon.
Yes, Brett Rippon went to the Vikings.
Smart getting picked up.
Yep.
I doubt if Ryan Tannehill gets picked up by anybody anytime soon unless a starter goes down. And then at that point in time, you might bring him in.
He gets a call similar to what happened last year in Cleveland with Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
That, to me, would be the Ryan Tannehill call. That would be it.
We're going to get into it in the second hour as NFL agents once again have voted the Cardinals as one of the most unstable franchises in all of football. They were number one last year. They have moved up a couple, so they're not quite as bad as last year, but they still are at the bottom. So we will dive into that a little bit later as the Athletic put together their poll here for that. So they do that every year. So we have last year's numbers and this year's numbers, so we'll share that. Also in the 2 o'clock hour, something unique. You've seen a lot of baseball teams doing their fantasy draft selection on their picks, like what order they're going to go. You saw the Phillies; they all had the wedges out, and they had a pad at home plate, and whoever hit the wedge the farthest, they got the first pick, and then whatever closer you added down the line. I had a listener call me, and they asked me at 2 o'clock. Can you go over our 12 names and give us the top 12 names? Whatever name comes in number one or the best, we'll get the first pick.
Okay.
And we'll go over them, a little bit. And I found some other ones that I want to share because there's some good ones in regards to like Cardinals. If you're a Cardinals fan, like Murray Christmas or Murray Up Offense or the Murray Show, or Kyler I Trust, or Mighty Marvin Power Rangers, or Marvin's Room.
I like
so
that.
There's a lot of good ones for Harrison and company. I like those, and Marvin I Trust. There's some pretty good ones there. There's a couple for James Conner, Trey Benson. So we'll dive into that as well. But got to tell you about the contest that we are doing with Twin Peaks because that's where we are today. It's called the Twin Peaks Fantastic Tailgating Sweepstakes, and it's brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. We're doing it all football season. All you do is text Peaks to 59925. You can do it every day, and there's one prize, a Traeger grill. We're also going to throw in a Blackstone griddle. We're going to throw in a pizza oven.
Wow.
We'll add a cornhole set. We'll also add a portable beer pong table. An outdoor projector, well, you got to have an inflatable screen with that, so we're going to throw that in there. Get you a cooler, like a Coors Light or Blue Light cooler. And then got to be hydrated, so we're going to get you a bunch of Cocoa 5. And then some tumblers, Wild Gear tumblers, because you need something to drink your beer out of. So we're going to hook you up with that. And then we'll throw you a $250 Twin Peaks gift card. Woo-hoo! That's all grand prize. No purchase necessary. Just text Peaks to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. So make this football season unforgettable at Twin Peaks. Well, you'll hear Carol's Grand Slam next. It's the Document Solutions Sounds of the Night right here on Fox Sports 910.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
It's right for Wright Toyota. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, check out Wright Toyota and WrightToyota.com. We broadcast there every Friday from 1 to 4, so stop by, say hello. Right on the price, right on the selection, WrightToyota.com.
Have you been arrested for something you didn't do? When your liberty is on the line, you need an aggressive, experienced attorney to defend your rights. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is the firm you can trust with your freedom. Our criminal defense attorneys have represented clients across the state. Affordable payment defense need immediately. Time is not on your side. Call Lerner & Rowe today for a free consultation. We're available to help you 24/7.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. While leaning over the fence, your neighbors said you could save money bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. Your neighbor leaned over a little too much and broke your fence. Dumb news. Somehow fence wood is more expensive than wood. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and to plant really tall shrubs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Time for today's play of the day, courtesy of Document Solutions, leading the Valley in business solutions for copier and IT service. Their service can't be copied. 623-252-8282. Now let's get to the play of the day.
D-backs right now, 1-0. Mets are up in the bottom of the third as they're playing down at the bank. As we get into our sounds of the night, one big sound, that's all you really need to know, and that was Carroll's grand slam, the go-ahead, which was the difference as the D-backs went on to win.
It's only fitting that Ohtani gets the very first golden bobblehead, and Decoy is right there with him. Go to work with your owner, Dave. And moments ago, the first dog ever to throw.
All right, this is the wrong clip. Jasmine, it's the wrong clip. Sorry. That doesn't sound like a grand slam.
No. So Ohtani and his dog
we'll
or
get
something?
into that. Well, yeah, he threw out his dog threw out the first pitch. We'll have that a little bit later. Yeah, let's try this again. Take two. Corbin Carroll's go-ahead grand slam in the eighth.
Gurriel at third, Pavin Smith at second, Perdomo at first. Corbin hits it high in the air. It's a fly ball to right field, and it's gone. He did it again. Corbin Carroll is back, and it's 8-5. Unbelievable. How many times can this team come back? They have bounced back, and they have answered back. Corbin just launched it to right center field.
D-backs come back once again, their 10th grand slam in the bigs this year, and that is a record currently right now, or not record, with a lead all of baseball. 7 is next. But you look at Carroll, he has reached base in 36 straight games. That is a feat.
Well, he's feeling it. I mean, he talked last night after the game about how he really felt his teammates had his back, and he felt he's just being patient. Everybody told him, be patient. You'll work it out. I mean, guys, even that home run, that grand slam was about 400 feet, 396 feet. The one in the fourth inning they hit was 440 feet. I just think when I watch Corbin Carroll, just the pitch selection as far as getting his pitch, being more patient at the plate, and even with some of the outs that he's had, he's really hit the ball hard, and he's going the opposite way. But I tell you what, he's getting, stronger, and I think just wiser selection. I also wonder how much the forward scouting is helping him as well, too, with a lot of these pitchers he's facing.
Well, he had to have something happen because he was in a terrible tailspin ever since the season began. I mean, he really couldn't get much worse. And now, at the right time and at the right moment, he again has found his stroke, which is really now paying dividends for this team.
15 home runs since July 4th.
Yes.
Yeah, and also with Suarez, finding his stroke, but last night he didn't look good at all. Suarez looked very anxious. First pitch swinging. I think guys get a little up, and hopefully he doesn't fall back into where he was, about 3 weeks ago. He's really hitting the ball well, but last night he looked all out of sorts. So if Suarez can keep it up and Corbin Carroll can keep, pushing that batting average to, maybe 230, 235 and stay hot, that's going to help them immensely. And especially him at the leadoff position. 2 games ago, he was at the number 8 hole, hitting it out.
All right, D-backs taking the lead. It's a 2-run jack, and Randall Krychek is the guy who just yanked it out of the yard to right center field. A terrific line drive shot, just barely cleared the fence over the 374 mark. But now the D-backs have reclaimed the lead in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and they are still at the plate. And it's Arizona 2, New York 1.
Richard,
the best
Richard,
best play-by-play guy, right
there. You go, Jimmy.
Just nailed it.
I was
Sounds of the
with
Night
that.
are brought to you by Document Solutions. If you are looking for an all-in-one wireless printer, call Document Solutions now. You can buy, lease, or even rent any of their all-new printers. Call 623-252-8282. That's Document Solutions of the Valley, where their service can't be copied. On this day, it's Happy National Lemon Juice Day.
Woo-hoo!
You put lemon juice on stuff?
Yeah,
Like
I like
what?
it. I put it on fish.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm having fish and chips. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, same way. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I use fresh lemons, not the juice.
Yeah, exactly.
Fresh lemons for that.
So back on this day, 2009, Luis Gonzalez retires and rejoins the club as a special president and CEO as the D-backs host Luis Gonzalez Appreciation Night. That was in 2009. And then 2017, due to the heavy rains flooding in the Texas area in Houston as a result of Hurricane Harvey, the series between the Astros and the Rangers was moved to St. Petersburg, Florida at Tropicana Field. So
that
was a big deal.
Disaster
I remember
that was.
a disaster.
Nice, is with where did Gonzalez end at? With the Dodgers? Was that where he ended his last couple of days with the Dodgers?
Mark Gonzalez.
No, Luis Gonzalez.
Oh.
His last games, I think, were with the Dodgers. But for him,
I think that a lot of people were pissed off when he went to LA.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, wait a second. I mean, that's the vaunted rival.
By the way, I have some LA Dodger dad jokes today.
Oh, do you?
Can't wait for that.
3 of the 6 I have to do with the Dodgers.
Awesome.
So that's at 2:45.
All right.
On this day, it's brought to you by our big football promotion. We do it every year. It is the Fan Pick'em. Go to fanpick'em.com. It's our annual pro football pick'em contest presented by Blue Moon and Coors Light. Just go to fanpick'em.com. $5,000 at stake plus weekly man cards from Twin Peaks. Nationally, Steph Curry got paid today. He agreed to a 1-year, $62.6 million extension. That puts him up with LeBron James and Kevin Durant to pass the $500 million in career earnings.
Wow.
Curry has 2 years remaining on his 4-year, $215.4 million contract that he signed back in August 3 years ago, in 2001.
And people ask how these guys become billionaires. That's the beginning of it right there.
That's kind of
you invested in something smart.
Yep.
Well, that's a thank you very much for your service.
Yeah.
Hopefully he can continue to play, but $62.6 million.
How many titles did he help win? He won
Well,
4.
Yeah, and I think for now to just keep him as part of that era with Golden State, because hopefully they can get a few pieces around him. But I think that's a bygone era unless they can go get a few people. But when you're paying a guy like that $62 million, what do you have left to go ahead and build around him? I think those are some of the things that Warrior fans are taking a look at.
I can tell you this right now: the owner won't care.
No, he won't.
He won't care.
Well,
if he goes over the threshold again, it's not a big deal to him.
Well, he did it, 3 times?
3 times.
3 out of the 4 years
Yes.
of doing the championship?
That is correct.
He had no problem cutting that check for
Nope.
$125 million or something of those sorts. But I think when you see something like that, to keep a guy, to keep your stalwart or your guy that was pretty much your
he's your star.
Your star, and keep him in that town instead of like, well, we're not going to pay or shuffle him off. You see a lot of that National Football League. A lot of guys have been pretty much shuffled off. But I think it's good for sports to see them going, all right, you're going to retire a Golden State Warrior, and you're not going anywhere. We're going to keep you here.
Some other national news. The National College Players Association today said it stands in opposition of the $2.8 billion NCAA House settlement. It's going to happen in about a week. There's a critical hearing that's going to take place as the NCPA, which is the National College Players Association. It's a pro-labor union membership that started back in 2001, and they are against the approval of settlement terms, mostly citing the agreement's intent to curtail millions of dollars flowing to athletes from booster-led NIL collectives, and that is a quote. So I'm interested to see how that all comes to fruition and what is actually going to happen there. But
didn't they want to take that to trial? I think they want to take it to trial, have a jury decide damages. I mean, you look at $2.1 billion, which
that's a lot of money.
Well, typically what a jury will do is triple the damages.
Yes.
So if they come up with, let's say it's $2 billion, they'll look to triple it. So next, you've got, $6 billion settlement versus a $2 billion. And I forgot all about that organization. I remember that first started off, Rob. We were coming on the air in 2004. That it was just in the works already going back to 2001. And how vitally important now, thinking about that with the NIL and all the things that are going on, that college players are organized. There's CBAs versus, collective bargaining agreement with the schools or the NCAA.
It's all a business now. Business is what
well,
it is.
it's always been a business.
No, but not for the players. For the players
yes,
now,
for the players,
it's a
yes.
business. Yeah.
But, they're spending money, as the Daily Digit today is $723 million. That is the number of games of EA Sports College Football 25 that fans have already played since the game's released just a couple weeks ago. That's huge.
So now you can see why, if your likeness is getting used,
yes,
you want a percentage.
Yes, and you deserve it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's 725.
Where's Ed
million?
O'Bannon? Where's Ed O'Bannon when you need him? Who was the guy that took that to
Well,
court?
he and Sam Keller,
Yep.
former quarterback at ASU, went on to finish at Nebraska. You commend them for going to court and proving.
Yep.
And the O'Bannon brothers.
That's it.
Yeah, they own like car
lots
over in California. Put their money to use. They're millions of dollars to use. But good for them as far as that likeness is concerned. And I think what's also interesting, the news that came out yesterday, that portal, I think the NCAA and the Division I folks will agree that the portal is only a one-time-a-year situation. And I think the coaches, players are going to have to make a decision, though.
I agree with you.
If December's the only time you can enter the portal,
yeah.
It was December, then it was April. If December's it, then you better make damn sure you want to stay at that school or forever hold your peace.
Let me ask you this then. Would it be a case in point that the coaches would prefer it's December, or would they prefer it to be April if there's only one?
They're only going to do it. It's only going to be December. They're going to eliminate April.
All right.
Now, if they vote it down, it'll be December and April.
Yeah.
I think coaches would prefer to, who's coming, who's going, who can we bring in, who can we recruit? And then by spring football, you have an idea, because a lot of these guys, spring football will get done like March. Then you got that April window. All of a sudden they'd go, well, I'm not staying. I'm going to go. So then you get a little disarray with the coaches on who's coming and going.
I think if they take out the spring transfer portal, what do you call it? Era,
yeah.
Whatever. They've got to take out the early recruiting signing window in December.
I would agree.
Yeah, because you got the transfer portal and you got the early high school signing day.
That's fair.
In December. That's a lot.
Yeah, I would agree.
Good job, JG.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you.
Way to bring that to the table. Hey, coming up, we're going to catch up with Arizona State University assistant head coach Charlie Ragle, part of our weekly segment we get to do with him. So we're looking forward to talking to him about this week's game against Wyoming. A lot of familiar faces with this team, Wyoming. And we'll get into that next as we are coming to you live from the Twin Peaks in Glendale right here on Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
The Cardinals place rookie cornerback Elijah Jones on injured reserve. Signed linebacker Chris Barnes to the active roster and signed 3 players to the practice squad. It's the first full weekend of college football getting started. North Carolina and Minnesota among the games. We'll have that one right here on Fox Sports 910. The pregame starts at 4:30.
Yes, and I have his number. I'm just waiting for this news
first baseman
stop,
Christian
and then I'll give
Walker
him a call.
and second baseman Ketel Marte are unlikely to return for this weekend series with the Dodgers as they both work their way back from respective injuries. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. I often get asked, how can Lerner and Rowe effectively handle DUI and criminal cases when you guys are a personal injury law firm? The answer is simple. We're good at it. Lerner and Rowe Law Group is a separate law firm from Lerner Rowe Injury Attorneys. Our criminal defense attorneys have represented thousands of clients across the state. And with our affordable payment plans, you can get the defense you need immediately. If you've been wrongly charged with a crime, time is not on your side. We're available to help you 24/7.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is here, which means my team and I are ready to serve you and your family. Go to state48roofing.com, scan the QR code below. We'll see you up on your roof.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at VaxAssist.
The coach is ready.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by eBay Motors.
Minnesota Lynx forward Nafisa Collier was named the WNBA's Western Conference Player of the Week for August 15th through 25th. During that stretch, she averaged 25.6 points on over 66% shooting, plus 9.2 boards, 3.4 assists, and 1.6 steals. This is the second time Collier has been selected Player of the Week during this season and her sixth time overall. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Let's talk Sun Devil football. Coach Charlie Regal now on Fox Sports 910.
You're live?
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com.
All right, Charlie Regal joins us as he is getting ready for Saturday night, FS1, nationally televised. The Wyoming Cowboys are in town. Are you ready for some football, Coach? You ready to go?
Oh, whether I am or I'm not, it's here, and we better be ready. That's the dang sure.
Coach, I'm curious when you look at gamesmanship and playing and planning. Are there any conversations with the quarterback Sam Levitt? He played under the new Wyoming OC Jay Johnson at Michigan State. Is there any game planning or playbook talk when it comes to what kind of tendencies that Jay Johnson has?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly those conversations for sure, right? And then it's obviously, hey, from those conversations, let's go watch the tape and see kind of what the track record is and what we can expect, and do those conversations that we've had in the building match up to what we see on tape, and there's certainly some of that for sure.
Charlie, you go into a game and you try to batten down the hatches in every area, knowing you guys as coaches, you guys don't miss a beat. What were some of the last things you guys wanted to get to pretty much set up going into this game that you felt comfortable that you're ready to go?
Well, I think it's just a lot of the operational stuff, right? Some of these things that you're going through for the first time, end of game situations, whether it's, and in all three phases, working 2-minute drills. I think one of the things, and I know we touched on it last week, is just, reiterating the microphones in the helmets now and making sure that we're clean on the technology of how that works and that process. That was something, that obviously has never been in the game of college football. So there's and this, Dan, right? There's so many of those little things that you could feel like, hey, you could practice a million things literally and still feel like you're not ready to go in the first game. I think that's probably just the coach's curse, right?
Between you and Kenny and Coach Arroyo, all head coaches, you being a former head coach, assistant head coach, and Coach Arroyo come from UNLV. How many checklists do you have? Is there like 35, 40 on that checklist before you finally get comfortable, Charlie?
There's a checklist for the checklist. Make sure that the checklist is the checklist. There's no doubt about it. But I think that's the one thing too, when you do have guys coming in from different programs and having been in that seat, there's so many guys that bring so many things to the table. You do feel really good about in terms of just, hey, situational awareness, trying to make our guys ready for every possible situation that comes up, but not drowning in the minutia either. You still got to go out and play football and play it fast, and it's a reactionary game. So we don't want these kids hamstrung. We want them to play fast and go out and have some fun on Saturday night.
Charlie Regal is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. The best thing that is happening for ASU is that quarterback, Josh Allen, is long gone. He's not playing for the Wyoming Cowboys anymore, Charlie. The question that I have for you, can you explain to fans who are listening, please, that because it is Wyoming, they seem to think, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. In the Mountain West Conference, Charlie, and they play some really good football.
Yeah, yes, they do. And I know that nobody in this building thinks that. I can turn on the tape and watch Wyoming last year in the fourth quarter in a one-score game against, semifinal Texas team, right? And they're on the road at Texas, and they've got them to a one-score, like I said, in the fourth quarter. So this is a blue-collar program that knows how to win, and we were just talking about it, Coach Ward and myself, in our locker room here 5 minutes ago, before I came on with you guys, that, those guys are expecting they're expecting to come in here and win. It's a good football team with a good program that has a good history, won 9 games last year. For us, though, we expect to win as well. And, for us, it's to go out, play hard, execute what has been asked of our players to do, and play clean football. Don't turn the ball over. And I think we all feel if we do those things, we will win this football game.
Coach, I'm seeing, here you are going into week one, a little banged up, from the sounds of it. And I know that's part of the game, but it sounds as though listening to Coach Dillingham, he's feels good about this roster. That's much, much deeper than it was going into last season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's we have more depth than we certainly had a year ago, right? That was what we had last year. And obviously we went through some trials and tribulations there with injuries, some freak stuff last year. And, as you said, it's part of it, but we still, it's week one and we feel good where we're at and we feel good where our roster is. And, hey, look, the guys that we've got going into this game are ready to play, and we're excited, and I think we're going to be just fine.
What, if any, for the average layperson or fan, will we see differently, Charlie, with the offense specifically? Anything that Coach Arroyo is bringing in, not to give away any kind of a game plan, but anything that's pretty staples that we'll see more often than last year?
Yeah, well, I think it's going to start with the quarterback, and I alluded to that. I touched on that last week. I just think Sam is again, he's got to go out. He's young, and he's going to go through some ups and downs, just like any quarterback, and a young quarterback at that. But I just think what he brings in his arsenal, if plays break down, he does have a very good set of skills in terms of being able to extend plays with his legs. So I think that, it's going to start with the quarterback. I think you're going to see a drastic improvement there. And then I do feel really good about where our running back room is. Obviously everybody knows about Cam and what he brings to the table, but there is some depth in that running back room and some guys that can really tote the football. So I think that those will be the two things that you look at right away. Hey, these guys, can they run the football? can we establish the run?
3.
And then, how good is our quarterback play in game one? I think obviously two important pieces for us to move forward and win football games.
Coach, speaking of Scatterborough, I mean, how many packages do you have for him?
Yeah, this kid does everything.
I mean, is he clean the locker room afterwards?
That's part of that. That's part of that checklist. We got another checklist. Academy checklist. He's here. He's there. And we got this guy all over on special teams. Out in punt formations and doing different things with him. He's just he's a very, very talented young man, and he's really put in a lot of hard work this offseason. I'm excited to see him go this far. I think he's in for a tremendous year.
Young man, we failed to mention former Red Mountain High School. It's Svoboda, the starting quarterback. Jimmy alluded to it. Josh Allen along there. But Svoboda, he's a big kid, Coach. I remember watching him in high school. What's he going to bring to that table for this Wyoming Cowboys team?
Well, I think it's intriguing, right?
2.
I think that obviously, he went the junior college route and then has emerged as the starter there. I think obviously coming home, kind of like Mikey Keene did with Fresno last year, right? These guys that come back here always have a little something to prove. So I think it's going to be interesting, being at his first start, back here at home, that could be good or bad, right, in terms of pressure. And I'm interested to see what he brings to the table. But, just like every week, we know that in order for us to be successful, we've got to affect the quarterback. And that doesn't change. There's no difference in that this week with him being the quarterback. We got to get some pressure on him for sure.
All right, Coach, our last one. What is your game day routine? Game day routine. You 2 eggs, bacon, muffin. I mean, what is your game day?
10 cups of coffee.
Man, we could have done a whole segment on this alone.
1.
It depends off when is the game, right? So right now it's hot, right? Early part of the year, so the games are mostly going to be late, right? So I'm going to get up. I'm probably not going to eat when I wake up. I'm probably going to get up, probably about 6:37, sleep in a little bit. We will have a staff meeting here in Tempe at 9. We will fast forward some meetings, a walkthrough in the bubble, and then we'll have about 4 hours between coming back and getting into actual game mode. So in that 4-hour time, I'm going back home. I'm going to stop probably at my spot over there off of Baby Jalapeno Bus and get a little burrito. And then I'm just going to go chill and relax, and then but the burrito is the go-to to get me rolling, and then it's go time when we come back and into game mode. So that will definitely be the play for this Saturday. I can promise you that.
Hey,
maybe even some burnt ends with that green chili burrito.
Oh, hey, Coach, I got to correct you. You were
tried that place. I'm telling you, if you have not tried that place, you need to get out there and try it. It's unbelievable.
So are we have a new sponsor now, Charlie? I mean, we got Crest already.
Rock, I'm always working for the team.
I love it, buddy. Keep it coming.
By the way, Charlie, you were talking about minutia. Around here, it's called the minutia that surrounds everything.
Coach,
that sounds like a new game we could start playing. We can figure that out.
I got news for you, Coach. When I get up in the morning and go to the bathroom, I take a minutia.
Oh, jeez. We'll leave it at that, Coach. Go get him on Saturday, man. Thanks for the time today.
Appreciate you, boys. Thanks. Go Devils.
That's Charlie Regal joining us. Thanks to Crest Insurance Group for sponsoring him in the Sun Devil Report. Every Thursday, Crest Insurance Group, they offer personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out online, crestins.com. Coming up, we got some football at 50 to get into. Get ready for week 1 of college football, and it's our underdog picks for the weekend. That's next, right here on Fox Sports 910.
Get ready to turn heads with Arizona Color Vehicle Wraps, the original vehicle wrap shop. Your one-stop shop for business branding, vehicle wraps, and graphics.
Yes, Twin Peaks Glendale, and the audio I received on my email, and I have football at 50 ready.
RVs, cargo trailers, and side-by-sides. Ready to elevate your brand? Call Arizona Color Vehicle Wraps at 623-580-7386 or get a quick quote online at arizonacolorwraps.com. One call wraps it all.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary.
I'm going to follow the order on the paper. And he had previously said not to worry about Buffalo 50.
For free consultation.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Sean Forster, Managing Attorney.
Looking to win some cash? Who isn't? Join Roc, Manuch, and Jimmy B for their 24th year hosting the Monday Night Tailgate. Each week, you could win $9,100. That's the Monday Night Tailgate at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Glendale, located at 95th Avenue in Glendale.
Get ready for the first big weekend of NCAA college football. With tough matchups on Saturday like number 5 Alabama versus the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Plus number 2, the Ohio State up against the Akron Zips. And number 6, Ole Miss hosts the furious Furman Paladins.
Say what?
This weekend, you can bet on exciting football, but ask yourself one question. Will they cover the spread?
That is what it's all about. As college football week 1 is here. Tonight, we had week 0 last week, which wasn't too bad with the upset with Georgia Tech. But you got 4 ranked teams. Look at their season started tonight. You got number 22, North Carolina, hosting Western Carolina. Number 11, Missouri hosts Murray State. Number 24, Kansas has got Lindenwood. And number 13, Utah hosts Southern Utah. There's some other intriguing matchups. You got FCS Power, North Dakota State taking on Primetime's Colorado team. You also got North Carolina taking on Minnesota. So, again, this is the first year of the 12-team college football playoff at the FBS level. So this is going to be a lot of fun. People are going to have to get used to different times that they're used to watching their teams because some of them are in different conferences. You know, all the new realignment, all the big shakeup, but it should be a lot of fun. But we always do our underdogs of the week. So, Jasmine, let's get it started.
$1 zillion. The question is, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Most weekend bettors prefer to lay their money down on favorites because they can't get their head around backing an underdog. Not Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. They're all about the dogs. Time now for the guys' dog picks of the week on Fox Sports 910.
All right, dog picks of the week. I'll start us off. Western Kentucky plus 32 They will stay within the spread of number 5, Alabama. They kick off at 4 o'clock on Saturday. I know the Hilltoppers lost their quarterback, Austin Reed, to the NFL, but their head coach has brought in a bunch of transfer guys. His name's Tyson Helton, and they brought in TJ Finley, who began his career at LSU, also had some stops at Auburn and Texas State. He's going to be throwing for the Hilltoppers. One interesting note, the Hilltoppers have covered the spread in 8 of their last 12 Saturday road games. So watch this high-powered offense. They're going to get beat. They're going to get beat bad, but they're not going to get beat by 32. Alabama, believe it or not, is rebuilding on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, let's get mine going there, Jazz.
Manuch, you played the game, so this should be a no-brainer. They're all my dogs. Give us your dog of the week.
Well, I think that my dog is going to be Fresno State traveling to Michigan at plus 20.5. I think the fact of the Mikey Keene factor for Fresno State, the quarterback. Fresno State,
because you trained him?
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
I should have, but Rudy Carpenter got a hold of him before I did. But I watched him a lot, worked with that young man. I think Michigan, new coach, brand new quarterback, a lot of, I think, a dark cloud surrounding them, a lot of minutia, if you will, surrounding him, this Michigan game. But I think Fresno State keeps it within at least 14 points. I'm going Fresno State, the Mikey Keene, former Chandler High School quarterback factor for Fresno State to get that 20.5.
All right, before you get to Jimmy B,
Uh-oh.
I had always thought that we try to stay away from 3.
No, I thought it was 3 or up is what.
I think that was at 3 is a minimum.
3 is kind of like all right.
It's like
a wuss,
really,
wussy move.
it is a wuss move. All right, Jimmy, go ahead. Your turn.
Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for the setup. Go ahead, Jasmine. Play my open.
Finally, he's not Jimmy the Greek, but he's been calling the game for over 40 years. What about the dogs? What about the dogs? Jimmy B, what's your underdog pick of the week?
Well, since I just got trashed on this show for no stinking reason at all, I'm going with Notre Dame on the road at Texas A&M. The Fighting Irish getting 3 points.
Wow.
At the field. Yes, at Texas
A&M's
home
stretch,
field.
Yeah.
Yes, getting 3. What I love about this, Riley Leonard, who was the quarterback last year at Duke and had them undefeated until he got hurt. Then, of course, he went in the portal and then moved to Notre Dame. Ironically, Texas A&M's head coach is now Mike Elko, who was the coach at Duke and was coaching Riley Leonard. But the offensive scheme is going to be different. I like Notre Dame's defense. A&M is going to struggle this year in the SEC. I'm taking the Fighting Irish plus the 3.
It's a great pick, Jimmy. I like that pick a lot. Give me USC plus 4.5 against LSU.
I thought about
LSU has lost their last 4 season openers. And for me, guys, I trust more of Lincoln Riley and USC's offense versus this depleted LSU defense. You add on top of that, LSU's got a new quarterback, new running back, new wide receivers as well. I like USC not only to cover, but I think they win this game and beat LSU in Las Vegas.
Well, I love that pick.
That's what helps, I think, this game is the fact that it is in Las Vegas.
Exactly.
And the quarterback for USC's got some experience playing the bowl game. We have 6 touchdown passes.
Garrett Nussmeier from LSU played in the bowl game as well,
he
too.
did.
But I think Miller Moss fits the system from USC. I like them to flat out win the game, but I'll take the 4.5.
By the way, Russ Nussmeier, who is this young man's dad, was the quarterback for the Idaho Vandals and led them to a couple of bowls as well. Later played in the National Football League. Idaho matched up against Oregon this weekend.
So there's some other football news today as TV networks have received some tremendous news from the National Football League today regarding in-game interviews with the coaches
3
and with the coordinators. The NFL has agreed to let TV networks conduct in-game interviews with the head coaches and the coordinators, as the networks will also have permission to air the pregame locker room footage too before the kickoff.
Starting to follow the lead of the USFL a little bit there. UFL.
Well, I think they're just trying to get what they're paying for.
Well, I probably agree with that. I mean,
it'll be sponsored.
They want more content. Let's pull the curtain back a little bit.
It'll be sponsored. It'll be brought to you by Xerox.
But guys, these coaches hate this stuff.
Yes, they do.
They hate this. They do not want anybody interfering with their mojo, their pattern, their day. Now I got to go talk to so and so. I got to talk. You want to look behind you want to come into our locker room? They're not going to like this whatsoever.
Yeah, but to interview a coach in the middle of a game, I don't like it.
I don't either.
I hate it. I mean, and I hope there's going to be some coaches like some of these coaches that have personalities like Mike Tomlin or Andy Reid. I can see them just being total jerks.
Sure.
And it's going to make them look bad, but they're really kind of mocking the system. If they crack a joke, to open up a conversation. I don't think it's meaning. It's just like, do we really? Before you're at halftime watching a game, right? It's 2 minutes. Are you waiting for that female reporter to get that one quote?
No.
We don't care.
No, we don't.
We don't care.
That was like a couple years ago when Maria Taylor asked Nick Saban about the quarterback battle at halftime, and he said, "I don't know, so quit asking."
And you might get that short response, but in game interviews, no,
it's awful.
I mean, no, we don't need arena football or USFL football, whatever.
We're in the industry. We're saying it, but I bet there's a lot of people here sitting at this bar would love to see the behind-the-scenes stuff.
I'm sure they would.
Maybe the locker room thing, but I'm not so sure even fans would want to see their coach being interviewed.
And you remember,
during
guys,
the game.
a lot of the post-game talks and celebrations are usually on social media. I don't think I've seen any pregame per se, unless you've got the Hard Knocks following a team and with some of that going on.
I can tell you this from experience. When I would do a game and I would get to the stadium at least 2 hours before, because that's the only time the coach would talk to me.
Are we getting too much Belichick? I'll tell you what that's all about next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Sun Devil football is back. Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium as a member of the Big 12 Conference to take on the Wyoming Cowboys Saturday, August 31st at 7:30 p.m.
Scattaboo with the catch, has the first down, stays on his feet, and he's going to go. Touchdown, Devils!
Get your ASU Wyoming tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Craving a sandwich that packs a punch? Welcome to Knuckle Sandwiches in Mesa. We're not your typical sandwich shop. All our menu items are made in-house using family recipes passed down for generations. Taste the difference in every bite. And we don't stop at sandwiches. Enjoy our mouth-watering breakfast burritos and delicious bagel sandwiches. Plus, we cater all over the valley for your next event. Find us at 1140 North Higley in North Point Village, next to Bashis', or skip the line and order online at knucklesandwichesaz.com. Knuckle Sandwiches. This is the knuckle sandwich your parents should have given you.
Don't miss our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, are you having a good time?
Friday and Saturday, September 20th and 21st. Streaming live only on Hulu.
iHeartRadio, let's go!
Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
We had the appetizer last week. Now it's time to feast. College football is back, and don't miss any of the action. Jump in with DraftKings Sportsbook. It's a full slate of games for week 1, including the big matchup in Atlanta between the preseason number 1 and number 16. This is going to be DraftKings' biggest college football season to date. Enjoy the ride now all the way through the expanded playoffs. Plus, all newbies getting into the college football spirit. Here's something extra special. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings all college football season long. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code 910. That's code 910 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus, Arizona only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball.
Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join our growing team at Progressive Insurance. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
It's the first full weekend of college football action, and among the games today, North Carolina and Minnesota. That's one you'll hear right here on Fox Sports 910. The pregame begins at 4:30. Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovello said first baseman Christian Walker and second baseman Ketel Marte are unlikely to return for this weekend series with the Dodgers as they work their way back from respective injuries. The Cardinals placed rookie quarterback Elijah Jones on injured reserve, signed linebacker Chris Barnes to the active roster, and signed 3 players to the practice squad. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For your Thursday, look for mostly sunny skies. Temperatures once again slightly above those seasonal averages, topping out close to 108 degrees for today. Tonight, mostly clear skies with those overnight lows dipping into the low 80s. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by New Vision Auto Glass.
Hey, it's Ned with New Vision Auto Glass. Do you have a cracked windshield? Flying rocks on Phoenix roads can do that. So here's my Ned tip. Call or visit newvisionautoglass.com and qualify for up to $375 cash back and a free dinner at Rodizio Grill.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Glendale, located at 95th Avenue in Glendale. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977.
Your life?
900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. on Fox Sports 910.
All right, hope you're having a wonderful Thursday afternoon. We're out here at Twin Peaks in Glendale, our home every Thursday, thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. Specials going on every Thursday, kicking off the NFL season next week. We got college ball starting tonight in week 1, so great place to watch football this season. So make plans at any of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks locations and take advantage of those Bud Light and Blue Moon drafts as we are excited for the season to finally be here. Coming up in just a little bit, we'll catch up with Eric Williams from NFL on Fox. He's the NFC West beat writer. Also, you will have an opportunity to win a $25 Twin Peaks gift card if you can defeat Danny today from Twin Peaks, as it's our Peaks Picks, which we do at 3:45.
You better be ready. She can bring it.
Yeah, she's pretty good. So we'll have some fun. I do want to start with this. I'll do anything for a beer. And
really, Rock?
For the most part, yeah. Especially if it's Guinness, because my dog's name's Guinness, and I'm all about Guinness. So a buddy of mine said, "Hey, we're trying to figure out our draft order. And we need some help." And he said, "Hey, what if I send you our 12 names and you put them in order on which are the most creative?" So I'm going to go 12-1.
Okay.
And I will say this. They suck. They are terrible. And they're a group called B&I, and it's Platinum. It's one of the groups. B&I is a huge business networking business that I've been involved for so many years. I haven't been in the last, but I love what they do. But these names, they're obviously not sports people. I mean, they're just not. I mean, like, I looked at, here are good ones.
Okay.
Like, designated drinkers. Hangover on downs, 2-pint conversion.
I like that.
Make fantasy football great again. That's a good one. Women rule the world. I mean, so those are the good kind, right?
Okay.
And then you look at some like for Cardinal fans, natural born Kylers, or Kyler Extincts, or Murray Christmas, or Murray's Miracles. Those are pretty good. And let me throw in some Marvin Harrison Jr. in there. Marvin's Room. Mighty Marvin Power Rangers.
I like that.
Marvelous Marvin. What else do I like here? I like Harrison Junior High. That's pretty good.
That's a good one. I like that.
I like this one. Junior Achievement.
Good one.
I like
that one. So it's a really good one. So here are the order, 12-1 for our buddy who's going to buy me a lot of Guinnesses for doing this and wasting my airtime. Number 12 is Bad Beats. Really? It sucks.
Come on.
Yeah, turn on Scott Van Pelt.
Sure.
Yeah, he does have bad beats.
Number 11, Throw It Far and Nar. Stupid.
What?
16, or excuse me, I wrote it down here. So 12, 11, 10 is Hail Murray. Not bad.
Okay, yeah.
It's been used
It's
before.
been used, yeah.
Next up is Secure Your Roster.
What?
These are terrible.
Wow. These folks need some help.
Yeah, they really do. They shouldn't be going to these networking
No.
meetings. 0 points down.
What?
All right.
Man, get out the yuck.
No.
Number crunchers is 6.
Okay, I get it. Yeah. Business.
5.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're getting better. I really didn't even need. It could just give me anything because they're so bad. Number 5 is We Will Floor You. Number 4.
That's awful.
Givers and Gainers. A little better.
That's not bad.
Better.
It's not bad. Okay. It's
Number 3, because they did the next 3 are okay.
Okay.
End Zone Express.
Okay.
not bad.
Yeah.
We're making some progress here, Rock.
Number 2, Tom Selleck's mustache.
What? What? What does that? Go
And
ahead.
number 1,
Yes.
who will get the draft first, Shake It Golf.
Shake it, goth.
I can see
Like
shake it.
Shake It Golf.
Yeah.
I can see shake it and bake it, but I mean,
Yeah.
Golf
shake it,
as
Get
in
Jared
Yeah,
Goff. We
yeah, I
get
got it.
We
We
get
got
it.
it,
Jared
yeah.
Goff, yes.
awful.
Yeah, those are
I mean,
bad.
like, how about I don't know,
Business nerds.
Cardiac
extraordinaire.
Cardinals or the Madden curse or I don't know, make fantasy football great again. That's a good one.
How about the Murray up offense?
Yeah.
Something like that.
You're terrible.
Yeah, that wasn't bad
All
at
right,
all.
that's going to cost at least a keg.
At least.
All right, are we getting too much Belichick?
What do you mean?
All right, he's already signed a deal to be on the Pat McAfee show
Right.
every Monday this
Yeah.
season, right?
Yeah.
He's going to appear on every ESPN Manningcast.
Okay.
He's also part of Inside the NFL as an analyst. He's a host of a show with the Underdog Network. And now he just agreed with Omaha Productions with Peyton Manning to do the breakdown with Peyton and Belichick on ESPN Plus.
I think
That's a little much of Belichick.
he's striking it while he's hot, Rock. I mean, if 5 years from now we have the same schedule, probably not. But I have no problem. I love listening to Bill Belichick.
I do too.
I enjoy what he says about the game. He's got some personality.
Yes.
The way he talks about certain things. The Taxachusetts thing the other day was great.
Yeah, I was watching that live. That was
Wow.
great.
You go, Bill. I mean, he's got more of a sense
Ripping
of humor.
that Democratic City.
Yeah, and so I think that the context he has for the game
Get
itself.
used to it, Rock. It's going to stay like
Yeah.
that for a long
So,
time.
hey,
Bad. Did you both of you? I gave you homework, and none of you have mentioned anything in the homework I gave you. I gave you something
I
to
saw.
read.
Yeah, but
And
there's
but nobody's saying anything, and it was all facts.
No,
it wasn't a Fox thing. It was a CNN thing. We don't need to talk about it
Yeah.
right now. But all I gave, you're
Yeah.
like you guys. All you guys,
no.
you won't listen.
No.
I'll listen to you guys, but you
I
guys
listen-
won't look.
I saw
Unrealized. Okay.
I saw the counterpart to what you sent me by 16 economists that shot that down. They have no
what do you mean
affiliation.
shut it down? It's a policy that they're going to put in.
I know the policy, but they're saying this. They countered that policy. What was going on now?
Congress can't do it. They're not government.
But the economists were saying what they'll be able to do
Hey,
for that.
Travis and Jason Kelsey
Yes.
are taking their New Heights podcast
Glad
to
we
Amazon.
got the show back on the rails.
$100 million over 3 years.
Wow. How much are you
Are they
paying
that good?
How much are you paying Manuch and I for this show?
Well, I don't know why I pay you anything. You should just do it for free the way you guys vote.
Well,
Walked into that one.
if it goes our way, you'll be looking for a job too,
Yeah,
Rock. So I
really.
think it's
No,
good.
I'm the one who makes the money here. I'm the one who pays you guys. So I don't think I'm.
don't
I don't
worry.
think I'm going to have any
I'll
problems.
pay the extra tax you charge me as well. Too. I don't have a problem
Deal.
whatsoever.
Really? That's what we need to see. We can all get along.
Yeah.
If the left can,
I will
they don't mind paying tax.
I will pay my fair share. I will pay what's
Deal.
fair, what's equal.
And I'm going to deliver you
48%.
another show.
Yeah.
So you'll make more
Hey,
money.
Rock, I'm just
nothing
happy
on
to
that.
have that job, man. I'll be good to go. You know what?
ESPN is launching something I think is pretty cool. It's an app that shows fans where they can tune in to watch games, and it's not necessarily games that are on their network. It's called Where to Watch, and this is a great feature to basically. And Jimmy, you don't need to listen to this because you can't download apps. But if you
I can
download an app
on my
your
iPad.
iPad,
Yeah, I'll put it on my iPad.
You can download it, and then basically you can just search events, games, whatever, and it's going to tell you exactly where to go to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I like that.
And
So if you want to watch, like for me, I want to watch the Ohio Bobcats, all right?
Yeah.
Mid-America Conference.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to be.
Right.
You know, CBS Sports Network or CW somewhere or some little cable
and
company.
with everybody all scattered all over the place, if they're not
Cable
not a
access.
major network, then you're going to is the Rokus or Rooks or whatever type of thing, and it's free.
Roku, Manuch.
Roku,
Yes.
Roku. In fact, I tried to go that once, couldn't find it. Said, forget it.
You can't. I mean, you got to have a TV that has it.
And we didn't have it, so
Yeah, you wouldn't.
It has to be an app on your TV.
So,
Listen to me. I'm explaining things.
So Shador
Sanders.
Sanders
Yes.
is the first college football player to sign an NIL deal with Nike.
Now that's
He signed a
interesting.
footwear apparel deal. Of course, Colorado is a Nike school.
They are.
They play tonight, and I hope they get beat.
I hope they win big.
I hope they get destroyed.
I'm
done with
I hope
Dion.
they win
I'm
big.
done with Dion. I mean, jeez.
So that's
I'm not done with Dion.
No?
I find it entertaining. And look, I get why you don't like him. I'm not going to watch.
Why
the
do
game,
you think I don't like him?
just because of his personality? And
I like his
style?
personality.
Okay.
I don't
Then-
think it's right to cut off media
the
members.
reporter.
Mr. Journalistic Integrity yourself.
All right, let me explain. Sean Keeler, I know from his days working in Des Moines, Iowa, for the newspaper there. And then he got the job in Colorado, in Denver.
Denver Post.
Denver Post, correct, working with Woody. They both work at the Denver Post. And so,
Woody Page.
yep, correct. And so this is something that
What?
Sean Keeler has done his entire career. And that
He's a
is-
columnist too, Jimmy.
he is a columnist.
Yes, it's his
What-
job.
what he
That's
is-
his
what-
job.
I'm well aware of that. But he always drops so-called nicknames, if you want to call them that, that are unpleasant for the person that he's talking about. And that's what he did to Dion. That's his shtick, and it worked for him in college. And now
Did he
has
cross the
taken it-
line, Jimmy?
You know,
He didn't
I'm
cross
not-
the line.
I know he's a columnist. It is his opinion, and I
You
respect.
can't
that.
take the
I
heat. Let me
respect
tell you,
it.
Jimmy.
Yes or no? Did he cross the line?
He crossed the line
So yes.
by using disparaging nicknames. He just couldn't refer to him as the coach or Deion Sanders. For me, that
Yes.
would be crossing the line.
So that means yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Why can't you play-by-play guys just can't answer a question?
Because
yes
I
or
had
no?
to- I had
He didn't even
explain it
answer
first.
why he's rooting for Colorado
Yeah.
tonight
Well, that's 'cause
and
you-
why he
you
wants
changed-
Colorado
Jimmy,
to win.
so Jimmy, let me ask you. So a guy has a columnist. It's his job.
He is, yep.
He
A
can throw
column, yeah.
whatever.
I've been ripped by columnists
Okay, but
my
he can
entire
put
life.
whatever little nickname he wants out there.
I'm well aware of
It's
that.
okay if you're a head coach.
Yes.
And you can't take the heat.
Yep.
Get out the kitchen.
I disagree with that.
Why?
Because this was different. I think Dion was wrong to address it the way that he did, and I like Sean Keeler. Like I said, I've known him, so I don't think Dion should have addressed it. I just think he should have
Okay.
ignored it.
Let me ask you
And
this.
and that would have been
Yeah,
better.
real quick before we go to break. How about the guy from CBS, the local CBS guy, where CBS parent company rated him number 16 out of the Big 12 conference? He won't talk to the local guy because
He
the
didn't like
national
his, he didn't
guys
like his rating.
didn't like his rating, didn't like that. So
Oh,
you're
I
going to
didn't
cut that
see
guy.
that. I
That's
didn't
what
see
triggered
that.
the Sean
That's the whole
deal.
thing, Jimmy.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
what,
it was just Sean Keeler.
no,
No, man.
it started before that.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why I think if it was one instance, I
Yeah.
could see, but this is multiple. So,
Oh, okay.
and he did it where he was before too. And
You want to change your opinion now?
Nope.
Hey, coming up, our the first dog to ever throw out the first pitch in a Major League Baseball game, and How to start a fight, 5 words or less. Sports bar gossip is next. We're out here, Twin Peaks Glendale.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Have you been to Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's Monday Night Tailgate at Casino, Arizona? It's year 24. You could win $9,100. Join the guys live at the CAZ Sports Bar for an unforgettable night.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks is always adding exciting cocktails to the menu, like the expertly balanced Sincoro Hall of Fame Margarita. Try it at your local lodge today.
Attention drivers, drive smart, Arizona. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, reminds you to follow the move over law. When you see emergency vehicles, move over and slow down. Keep our roads safe for all. Brought to you by All City Towing.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at G2GBar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Glendale, located at 95th Avenue in Glendale.
It's only fitting that Ohtani gets the very first golden bobblehead, and Decoy is right there with him.
Are you guys ready?
With your owner, Jay.
You guys are live.
And moments ago, the first dog ever to throw out a first pitch. Was pretty darn impressive, actually. Shohei goes behind home plate. Here comes Decoy with the first pitch.
And it's a strike. Little treat, little reward. You tell me he works hard on his game. He works hard on training his dog, too.
It's a really sweet treat bag. That's a $700 million man treat bag.
Shohei Ohtani, Dodger Stadium last night. Thousands of fans waited 8 hours in line to get a unique bobblehead, and it was his dog Decoy who stole the show right there, throwing out the first pitch. And again, he didn't throw it. He walked the ball right to him at home. But you look at Ohtani, he just signed a deal too with Topps, so he is doing it. He just signed a deal with them. It's just amazing. Everything he touches turns to gold.
Well, I think right now he is the face of Major League Baseball,
including his home run last night on his bobblehead.
So and he gets he's going to be a 50-50.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
I don't know about easy, but it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 steals is tough. I can see the 50 home runs, but the 50 steals.
Well, and then matching was he making $50 million a year to go with the 50-50 on top of that?
$70 million a year.
I mean, just incredible.
He signed a 10-year, $700 million deal.
Correct.
They had talked even, was it last week, that he's starting to pitch in the bullpen a little bit.
They showed some highlights of him, yes.
So you wonder if the Dodgers would use him if needed, maybe spot relief or what have you. But, I mean, right now, unfortunately, Ketel Marte got hurt a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was in the hunt. I think Ohtani, clear cut favorite MVP now.
You know, and I still stand on what I said at that time, that it's really difficult for me to give the MVP to a DH.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page there.
I think that, but I mean, now
Ohtani's a little bit different.
He is, but he is
a lot of
not,
DHs don't steal bases.
That's true. And he's not pitching, but he is in the lineup every night.
And we'll catch up with LA Sportsnet broadcaster Jerry Harrison Jr. tomorrow as the Dodgers are coming in time for a big 4-game series to get his thoughts on Ohtani and this Dodger ball club.
Right now, 2-2, Mets and Diamondbacks, top of the 7th inning. A little sports bar gossip. TSA sent out a tweet that said peanut butter is a liquid.
What?
And the internet has
exploded.
I mean, anger. I mean, 5 words with peanut butter is a liquid has gone so viral, viewed by more than 20 million people in 2 days.
Who designates that it's a liquid? I think of it as a paste more than anything.
Okay,
Spread.
are you creamy or are you
creamy?
The chunky?
Creamy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
And I do the Uncrustables still to this day. I do one of those, 2 of those a weekend. That's the creamy.
Yep.
Creamy all the way.
I'm a real hardcore peanut butter and jelly sandwich guy.
Still me too.
I did it
Staple.
when I would go to school in elementary school. That's what my mom would give me almost every day: peanut butter and jelly and carrots.
As a liquid?
Yeah.
I fight that one.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is to start a fight, 5 words or less. So there was an online challenge that hit where they came up with 5 words or less, but no politics. And here are some of the good ones. 5 words or less. Hot dogs or tacos.
No.
Ketchup on pizza. You're acting like your mom. Wine is better with ice. Dogs are better than cats. PCs are better than Macs. Anything about a sports team. Yankees suck. Cowboys suck. Nobody cares about soccer. You know those.
Yeah.
Anything about music. The Beatles are overrated. Taylor Swift is a fraud. Nirvana wasn't that good.
No, they weren't.
Breakdancing isn't a sport. I think those are pretty
After
good.
this Olympics, I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah,
that
was
breakdancing.
bad. Pizza Hut has unveiled a new pizza box that's also a table.
What?
So it's for people that kind of move into a new place. You haven't had set up the furniture yet, and they're offering a handful of locations. It's in Dallas, Charlotte, and Orlando. It'll be here soon. But it's kind of cool. We'll see how that
I
that
can see a
flies.
little box with some legs. Just pull the legs out there and just set that on there when you have hardly any furniture or no furniture at all.
All right, so even though I have furniture and I get a pizza, I sit on the couch and just put the box on my lap, watch TV, and eat the pizza right out of the box.
The whole pizza, the 12-inch pizza.
If it's a small pizza, I'm going to do that. Big pizza, if I'm sharing it with somebody, like say you guys came over, that'll never happen. But if you guys came over,
No, we don't have a golf cart. I can go to Sun City.
Yeah, it's
I don't live there.
a long drive to Sun City.
Not if we're here, though.
I don't live there.
we're on the west side right now.
True.
We're in
I
Glendale.
don't live there. So anyway, the point I'm making is,
land
is
a
that
plane.
I've already. Do I get a cut of that because I've already taken the pizza box and used it as a table?
You put over your lap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have like you develop like little prongs to put underneath that pizza box? That's what they're talking about.
No, man, I just set it right on the lap and go. I'm hungry. Let's go.
High school football has started, and we have 105, 110 degrees.
Yeah.
But you never hear about, games being canceled because of weather. Well, Ohio has figured it out. At least 32 Ohio high schools have been forced to adjust their time because the temperatures are as high as 96 degrees and they're 80s during the night. So they have decided to adjust starting times as well as move, kind of hold off a couple weeks so they can start playing.
Manuch, when you and I were doing high school football together, we kicked off and it was still 105, 106 degrees.
With monsoon activity all around us.
Well, you're not kidding.
So what they're doing is they're moving a lot of games to 7:30. What time do games start here?
7.
7.
Yep.
So
do you think it make much of a difference if it's 7:38?
Yeah, I think so, because it's
have a running clock.
If it's 7 o'clock, it's 108. Let's say.
Yeah.
That half hour might be down at least 100. But I mean, with the cooling down in Arizona, finally is in the 80s. There for about 3 months was in the 90s. So 7 o'clock, usually the sun's going down. And I think the rule of thumb here is if it's 110 degrees, you can't practice in it. You can't start a game in it. So tomorrow night, it's supposed to be 110 degrees tomorrow.
Right.
So by 7 o'clock kickoff, will be a desert mountain up here taking on Verrado.
107.
I hope it's 105-ish.
Yeah.
107, and then cools down quickly, and hopefully no monsoons pop up. Arizona, that's part of those dust storms come in.
Yep.
Jimmy and I did a game. We delayed the game
that was
an
great.
hour
because
of monsoon and lightning activity. And then they gave an extra half hour that if the lightning continued, they'd postpone it till the next Saturday morning.
Okay.
So there's adjustments that are going on.
It was interesting where I went to high school in South Jersey, and our football games were always Saturday morning.
Yes.
That's like what, like 10 or 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was for me going from.
That was the thing. I didn't, Friday football wasn't a big deal at all, and I don't know why that was. I mean, I was a Group 4, Group 5. We had graduated 600-700, a class, and I think because of maybe issues at night.
I was just going to say,
with kids and fights and parties and all that stuff.
Were you living in dangerous neighborhoods that maybe
I
prevented that?
think so. I mean, it's not. I didn't have I wasn't in a gated community, but I was pretty. I think I was all right.
It's interesting. You're growing up here in Arizona. They're all night games. So when you get to college, it's the day games. It's the 1 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah.
And that was interesting going from junior college, high school, JUCO at night to kicking off at 105. It's like, this is kind of odd. I'm just kind of, we're kind of moving ready for practice. It took some adjustment to play those day games, 1 o'clock kicks.
Here's the interesting part. Now, the Big 12, they always kick at 11 a.m.
Yep.
because it's noon on the East Coast. So they're doing what you did in high school, starting at 11.
And they want the exposure.
Correct.
They've decided they want that exposure on the East Coast.
Cardinals made a move today. Elijah Jones has been put on the injured reserve list, the rookie corner. He's got a heel injury. So they've signed practice squad linebacker Chris Barnes to the active roster. So
Barnes got re-signed to the 53 or to the 16-man practice squad.
Right.
So he's on there, and they elevated him back to the 53-man roster. There'll be, I think, a few of those kind of moves.
A lot of moves, I think, right?
I'm with you.
I think Gannon said Monday the dust will have settled. They'll have they should have their actual roster.
Yeah, he says that Monday we'll see. So we don't need to talk about it for the next 2 days, do we? We'll wait till Monday. Hey, we're going to catch up with NFC West beat writer Eric Williams, NFL on Fox. The 49ers bid to become the first team to three-peat in the NFC West in nearly 2 decades. We'll get his thoughts on the NFC West as we continue from Twin Peaks in Glendale to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Behold.
Clear.
Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Cardinals place rookie cornerback Elijah Jones on injured reserve, signed linebacker Chris Barnes to the active roster, and signed 3 players to the practice squad. The first full weekend of college football gets started today. Among the games, North Carolina and Minnesota. You'll hear that one right here on Fox Sports 910, starting at 4:30 with the pregame. Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovello said first baseman Christian Walker and second baseman Ketel Marte are unlikely to return for this weekend series with the Dodgers as they both work their way back from respective injuries. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. With Crest, you're not only protecting what matters most, but also helping to build stronger, more resilient communities. Crest Insurance, coverage you can trust Service you can count on.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Spend an unforgettable night with Bret Michaels, September 21st only at Talking Stick Resort. It's the Rock in the Desert Party Gras. Enjoy special drink offers, thrilling contests with incredible prizes, and exciting casino giveaways throughout the night. It's time to rock out with Bret Michaels, Saturday, September 21st. Tickets are on sale now. Visit TalkingStickResort.com.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
With Progressive Insurance, we make it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home,
Eric is ready.
or renters, you will earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com.
Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Glendale,
You're live?
located at 95th Avenue in Glendale.
It's right out here, Twin Peaks in Glendale. Be here till 4 o'clock. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. And joining us now as we get to talk some NFC West football is Eric Williams, beat writer for NFL on Fox. He joins us now on the right Twitter guest side. How are we making out today, Eric? What's going on?
Not a whole lot. I'm stuck here in traffic coming back from Rams practice in Los Angeles.
What's new,
Yeah,
really? Is it that bad? Is it really that bad? I mean, is the 5 just at any time of the day just packed?
No, it's like that, like 24 hours a day. It feels like, and it's that bad and worse. Having come from Seattle, which also has bad traffic, it doesn't compare at all to LA.
All right. Let's talk about Seattle a little bit because the 49ers are trying to be the first team to win the NFC West 3 straight years. Seattle was the last to do it in 2004 to 2007. So is this this the 49ers division to not lose? I mean, it seems like everybody's got them picked to win.
I think so. When you look at the roster, I think 1 through 53, they definitely have the most talent, in terms of the NFC West. But when you look at what's happened this offseason, they've been dealing with a lot of adversity. Obviously, they have the hold-in with Brandon Ayuk. We're waiting for that to be resolved. Trent Williams also is holding out. Those are 2 of their best players on offense. Christian McCaffrey's dealing with a calf injury. He hasn't been able to practice. Their first-round pick, Ricky Pearsall, is dealing with a shoulder injury. He hasn't really been able to get out there. Juwan Jennings also is dealing with a groin injury. So you have several injuries to key players along with the holdouts and the contract stuff that needs to get resolved. And I think whenever you have that kind of stuff, buzzing around your team, it could start to affect team chemistry. And so I'm interested to see how they come out these first couple weeks.
And Eric, talking about that a little bit in regards to Trent Williams, I think he's got to be the priority first and foremost for Brock Purdy's backside. What seems to be the holdup with Brandon Ayuk, who's now a holdout, getting charged about $45,000 a day? There's several teams very interested in him. I understand Cleveland has stepped up again for a bigger number. I understand the Patriots have offered a bigger number than the 49ers. I don't know where the Steelers' number is. Is this ball in – whose court is this ball in right now?
There's a lot of confusion because of all the different reporting that's going on around this contract dispute. And so it's hard to know, to be honest. I think it kind of falls with Ayuk in terms of his decision-making and having clarity on where he wants to be, whether it's, in San Francisco or it's somewhere else where he probably could make more money. I think ideally, if you're Ayuk, you want to make the most money in San Francisco because he knows he can put up the best numbers with Purdy in that offense. But sometimes we don't get what we want. So he has to choose. Does he want more money, or does he want to play for a team that, could potentially win a Super Bowl? And so we're all waiting for him to come to some decision. I think the Niners are at the point where, hey, we need to get ready for a game, and so they'd like him to make that decision sooner rather than later. You look back to last year, I believe Bosa didn't sign until Thursday before their first game against the Steelers, was able to get in there and still play. So they do have, a couple more days before things get, seriously urgent in terms of, Ayuk missing games.
Do you feel the CeeDee Lamb newest comp was the main reason why Ayuk walked out of camp going, okay, there you go. Where are we at?
He's not making CeeDee Lamb money.
Well, I know that.
I think he wants to make what Amon St. Ross is making, which is about 30.
Okay.
I can't imagine him thinking that he's going to make $34 million a year. I would be surprised if that was a holdup.
Well, it's just interesting how that's when he left, would not show up, as a couple days after the CeeDee Lamb situation. From what you can tell, just real quick, is there any angst in that locker room because of one Brandon Ayuk? Are they happy he's finally holding out versus being around?
And being around players in this situation, they usually don't get involved with it too much. From my experience, I know I was covering the Chargers when Melvin Gordon was holding out, and I know a lot of guys were talking to Melvin during that time, trying to get him to sign the contract because they really felt like that was going to be the best deal for him, and that it was kind of impacting what was going to happen in terms of their season. But I think players typically say, hey, I don't want to mess with a person's money. That's their financial situation, is their business. But you have a good point. I mean, this is a team that's, expected to compete for a Super Bowl, and they obviously know that Ayuk's going to help them do that. He's around the team too, so that's kind of a different element. Usually when you're holding out, you're not at the facility. So I imagine there's conversations going on. I mean, Debo said that they talk on a daily basis, and Debo went through this as well in terms of his contract, a couple years ago. But I think the bottom line is Ayuk needs to make a decision on where he wants to be and what the financial package is. And I don't think he can kind of hold the Niners and really the team hostage, by waiting for him to make this decision.
Eric Williams is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So let me follow up then. For me, and I want to ask this question of you, the most important guy that they get done is Trent Williams at left tackle. I could live without Ayuk. I can't live without Trent Williams.
Totally agree with you there. I mean, Purdy needs to be protected, not only in terms of him just ability to make plays down the field and feel comfortable in the pocket, but also running the football. He's one of their best run blockers. And so if you're able to run it and run play action off of that, that's going to help the offense be more efficient. I expect Trent's going to be out there. I just think they need to sweeten the contract a little bit, maybe give him a little bit more guaranteed money based on what others are making at his position. I think right now, because of new contracts that were signed in the offseason, he's like the 5th highest paid left tackle in the league. I think he still probably is the best left tackle in the league, even though he's 36 years old. So right now he's due to make, I think, $21 million. Give him a couple more $1 million guaranteed to make him happy. Makes sense to me. Probably makes sense if you're Brock Purdy, because you definitely want him playing left tackle instead of the alternative.
Eric, let's talk about Seattle. Pete Carroll out after 14 seasons. What is the vibe in Seattle, the people you're talking to, on the expectations of this Seahawks team for this season?
Yeah, I had a chance to watch Seattle in preseason when they came down and played the Chargers and talked to a couple sources that I know within the organization. They're excited. Felt like there was a change needed. Felt like kind of on offense and defense that they had got stale. I know one of the things that, when Pete first came in, he kind of created some innovative ways of, playing that Seattle cover 3, playing the rangy long cornerbacks and more rangier linebackers that were built like basketball players. did some different things on offense. So they kind of felt like they were ahead of the curve in terms of scheme on offense and defense, and things just kind of got stale over time. And with the addition of Mike McDonald, they're kind of back to being more innovative defensively based on what he was able to do with the Ravens. And then adding Ryan Grubb on offense, same thing. He kind of has some more innovative ways to attack defenses, again, based on what he did at the University of Washington. We'll see if that translates, in the NFL game. But there's a lot of excitement there. They think that the roster is pretty talented and they can hit the ground running, and we'll see.
Eric, you look at the Arizona Cardinals. They cut Desmond Ridder. They bring him back. You put him on the practice squad. Are you surprised to a point that the Cardinals, as of yet, have not gone out and signed an experienced veteran quarterback? Brett Rippon just recently signed with the Minnesota Vikings. I know Tannehill's out there. There's a few other guys out there. From what you can gather, and then even Jonathan Gannon talking about the dust hasn't settled. Maybe by Monday it will. How surprised are you the Cardinals would actually go into a season with Clayton Tune as their backup quarterback?
A little surprised, but I mean, he was a draft pick. And then they also traded for Desmond, so they gave up some draft capital for those guys to be in their room. Another thing that teams like to do is to wait till after the season starts, and if you bring in a veteran, then you can pay him week by week instead of having that full salary guaranteed for the season. So maybe they wait, and kind of see how things play out. Look at Joe Flacco, 39 years old, got off his couch to go join the Browns and ends up leading them to the postseason and win comeback player of the year. So they certainly have other options at their disposal, and they don't necessarily need to make a move now. They certainly can make a move later in the season that might be a little more cost effective.
How come nobody is talking about the Rams? Because I find them to be extremely interesting, Eric. You just left their training camp. How come nobody's talking about them? I think they're going to be a tough out.
Hey, Sean McVay wants to keep it that way, so he's happy that nobody's talking about them. I agree. Just watching them on the field today, they get Puka Nacua back, who had a little bit of a knee issue. He looks like he did last year. And I think the key guy for them is Cooper Kupp looks like his old self. He looks like he's fully healthy and moving like the person that, was the Super Bowl MVP and Triple Crown winner 3 years ago. So you have their two main receivers there. They're pretty good at running back with Kyron Williams, and they drafted Blake Corum. But I think really the key for them is going to be defense. Obviously Aaron Donald's not there, but they like what Kobe Turner gave them last year, and he's going to move from nose to 3-tech. He was voted as a captain this year, so he's going to be in more of a leadership position. And then they're really happy with the two rookies they got, Braden Fisk and Jared Verse. Feel like they can really heat up the pass rush with those three guys, along with Byron Young, who I don't think people are talking enough about. He had 9 sacks last year as a rookie. They're pretty good up front, and if they can control things up front, create havoc with their pass rush, I think it kind of protects an older secondary they have in the back end. And it's a good complement for what they want to do on offense. So I agree. I think they should be right in the mix there. And that would be my team I would pinpoint as a team that could overtake the Niners this year.
Eric, real quick, last one with Jim Harbaugh in LA now. Is he getting back page, or Sean McVay still the back page, so to speak?
No, Jim's getting a lot of run, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you drive down the freeway. I just saw a billboard of Jim, with his whistle and his Jordan cleats, out there for all of LA to see. So, I mean, he has a presence, and that's one of the reasons that the Chargers made the move and gave him $15-20 million a year to really kind of be the face of this franchise in Los Angeles, to get some eyeballs on their organization, not only to get eyeballs, but to win some games as well. Harbaugh's won wherever he's been. He knows how to put a competent offense, defense, and just kind of a culture, building the culture, which is what the Chargers needed. The ownership can kind of just put him in there, get out of the way and let him go to work. And certainly that's what he's done since he's been here.
Hey, jump in that HOV lane. There's no cops around. You're all right.
And I hope you're on Bluetooth too. Hope you're on Bluetooth, big fella.
Thank you, Eric, as always, man. Appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Yeah. Follow him on Twitter. Eric Williams, Eric_D_Williams at NFL on Fox. He is brought to you today by All City Towing. Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. That's All City Towing. They are hiring all across the board. They have great benefits, a healthy 401k employer match. They have employer-paid life insurance and so much more. Check it out for yourself. Just go to allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where the future is on the move. Coming up, some really, really bad dad jokes that have to do with the Dodgers. Woo-hoo. But first, we need a contestant to play against Danny here at the Twin Peaks in Glendale. The phone number is 602-260-9191. You are picking Arizona State versus Wyoming, Arizona versus New Mexico, and Notre Dame, Texas A&M. And we'll need the winner and score of that one. So those are your three games. Get on board. Fifth caller, 602-260-9191. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
For iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One. September 20th and 21st.
T-Mobile Arena here in Las Vegas.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
Keep listening for your next chance to be there.
Sponsored by Redbird Farms Chicken. Turn up the flavor with Redbird Farms Chicken. Available at your local grocer. Our chicken is juicy, tender, and delicious. Just like the iHeartRadio Music Festival, our chicken hits all the right notes and brings people together. Redbird Farms Chicken. What real chicken tastes like.
Life's a sprint. Meet G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Got a burning urge to pick games each week? Sign up now for Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, brought to you by Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Win weekly Twin Peaks Man cards and season-long prizes, including $5,000 cash. Visit fanpick'em.com.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Time for Peaks Picks, your weekly chance to win a $50 Twin Peaks man card
And
by
by?
outscoring one of the beautiful Twin Peaks girls. Twin Peaks, the
You're
ultimate
live.
sports lodge and home of the 29-degree man-sized drafts. Twin Peaks, the best views in the game. Open in Scottsdale, Phoenix, Tempe, Glendale, and Deer Valley.
We are doing the Peaks Picks. We're going to have Danny here in just a moment, but I do want to remind you that you need to sign up for our free annual Pro Football Pick'em contest. It's presented by Blue Moon and Coors Light this year. A chance to win $5,000. Other prizes as well. Weekly Twin Peaks gift cards. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. And Danny joins us here at the Glendale Twin Peaks. How you doing, Danny?
Danny.
I'm doing good. A little injured, but I'll be okay.
Yeah, she's playing hurt.
Playing hurt, but all
Yeah,
right.
I'm
So,
a hurt player, but you know.
all right, you're playing against Arnold today.
Okay.
Arnold or Arnie. All right. 3 games. Arizona State, they are hosting Wyoming, 7:30 in Tempe. Who are you going with?
For this one, I'm definitely gonna go with Wyoming.
Whoa!
I feel like Wyoming, they're pretty good, you know?
They are, yeah.
I like that.
They come and sneak around, you know?
Upset alert. All right.
Arnold's going with ASU.
ASU,
All right.
okay.
All right, second one here, Danny. I like the name, by the way. Arizona, number 21 versus New Mexico. That's at 7:30 down at U of A. Devin Dampier, the quarterback, was here with Saguaro. Now the quarterback, New Mexico. By the way, Evan Swoboda. Evan Swoboda. So you picked Wyoming?
Yes.
Probably because he's a young man, played at Red Mountain High School.
Local kids.
Yeah, local guys here. So U of A, number 21 ranked. U of A taking on the Lobos. Danny, which way you leaning?
You see, I am not a U of A fan, but I'm going to go with Arizona on this one.
All right. Arnold is also going with Arizona.
There you go. Fair enough. Number 7, Notre Dame. At number 20, Texas A&M. For this one, Danny, we need the winner and a score.
Okay. For this one, I'm definitely going with Notre Dame.
Okay.
I would say 24 to. Oh, maybe that's too low. No, I'm gonna go 24. I feel like my numbers are off. 21.
Yeah,
All right,
right. That's right.
3 point. That's good.
Yeah,
You're right
that's a
there.
good score.
That's
Yeah.
a spread. Good.
Arnold is taking Notre Dame, and he's going 26-20.
Okay.
Irish.
So, Danny, when are you normally here? When can people come in and say hi to you?
I'm always here on Tuesdays at the patio bar, bartending all the time.
Okay.
And then I'm here Thursday through Sunday, lunchtime, so 11 to 4.
You got it. Danny the Heat here at Twin Peaks Glendale. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate
Of course.
it.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
to Blue Moon and Coors Lights. All right. It's going to be tough today because dad jokes are bad.
Oh, yeah.
They are really bad. So, Jazz, hit the button. Let's get this started with dad jokes.
Time for Roc's really bad dad joke of the day. I mean, really bad. Like, really bad. Here's Roc.
All right. Who's the most famous Los Angeles Dodger? Who's the most famous Los Angeles Dodger?
Sandy Koufax.
Man. Okay, I'll go. I'll throw in. I'll do the same. I'll go Sandy Koufax as well too.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is good.
Touche.
Yeah,
that was good.
Let's stay with O.J.
Okay.
What are O.J.'s favorite baseball teams? What are O.J. Simpson's favorite baseball teams?
Oh man. Yes. I don't know. Teams that are on the run. I don't know.
Red Sox and Dodgers.
Oh,
got it.
man.
Okay. Got it.
So what did Mars ask Saturn? What did Mars ask Saturn?
How are your rings?
Close.
Close.
Hey, why don't you give me a ring sometime?
Close.
Good
Okay.
one. Good one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I'm doing some remodeling. How much does a chimney cost? How much does a chimney cost?
It's a smoking deal. That's all I know.
Nothing. It's on the house.
Oh, got it. Got it. Good. Good.
How many ears does Captain Kirk have?
Ears.
How many ears does Captain Kirk have?
2.
Nope. Left ear, right ear, and the final front ear.
Front. I get it. Got it. Good one.
She liked it.
Yeah. Good
Final
one.
frontier.
All right, bonus.
Yeah.
Joke. It's a D-backs fan, a Padres fan, and a Dodgers fan. They're climbing Camelback Mountain, and they're arguing who loves his team more. The Padre fan insists he's the most loyal, and he yells, "This is for San Diego," and he jumps off the side of the mountain. Not to be outdone.
Yeah.
The Diamondbacks fan is next to profess his love for his team, and he yells, "This is for the Arizona Diamondbacks," and he pushes the Dodger fan off the mountain.
That was good, Roc.
I like that.
There you
Good
have
one.
it.
Yeah.
Roc's very weak.
They
dad
were
jokes.
all right.
That last
They were
one was
all
pretty
right.
good.
Hey, I
Famous
got one.
Dodgers, good.
Yeah.
L.A. Dodger, O.J. Simpson.
Yeah.
I
that
like
was
that.
good.
Those weren't
Hey,
bad.
I got the rings one.
It would
Kinda,
work.
sorta.
You can
Yeah.
have it. I'd give that to you.
Okay,
I'd
fair
give
enough.
that to you.
Yeah,
So
that
I mean,
works.
why not? So anyway, so we appreciate Danny for being our guest picker this week, as well as Arnold in Scottsdale. As coming up in hour number 3, right out of the gate, there's NFL agents who have voted once again that the Arizona Cardinals are one of the most unstable franchises. Howard Balzer could probably agree with that.
Kind of
when he
vouch
joins
for
us
that
at some time, but
yeah.
he will join us a little bit later and get into that as well. But
you guys have lived here a long time. Does that sting you when
No.
you hear that?
No,
Doesn't
not at all.
sting you?
But Bible said Michael Bidwell.
Wait, Manuch. We mean it doesn't sting you.
No, it's because it's the norm.
It's same old Cardinals.
It's the norm.
okay.
It doesn't sting me. It's just
Okay.
Rock and I've been around it for many years.
I know. That's why I asked.
It is the norm. It doesn't surprise us that it continues to be the norm, which is sad that nothing has been accomplished or taken care of over there, despite players coming and going. And a lot of times players is like, well, I'm making good money. I guess I'll have to tolerate the lack of what's not been given to me as a Cardinal player, whether in the locker room, the food, or whatever.
This should be a place not to retire. Should be a place where free agents want to play.
Should be a destination.
A destination to play. I mean, come on. This is a beautiful, beautiful city.
Yep.
And, unfortunately, the ownership has a poor reputation. And it's unfortunate because he's got like 9 lives, right? I mean, he's had so many opportunities. He has missed on some hires. There's some people still working there that shouldn't be there.
Okay.
That just treat others poorly. But it's interesting because I think it's going to come out soon on some of the things that went down, specifically with Kyler Murray and signing him and the former GM. And I think it's going to get cloudy because there's been a black cloud over this franchise forever.
Ever since they moved from St. Louis.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's despite the despite the ineptness with the ownership, they've had some success on the field.
They have,
but
very
haven't,
little.
Very little. But they haven't had this consistent success when you look at a lot of the ownership groups, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. I mean, the consistency with treating your players properly, giving them what they need, and on top of that, paying them where they are. And there's a reason why, and I think The Rock will vouch for that or tell you why there's so many guys. And then here's the issue. When guys leave here, whether you work for the organization or you play for organization, that reputation speaks volumes of, you know what?
20.
They offer you this, maybe go somewhere else because of these 9 black marks against the Cardinals organization. It's very sad that it continues.
They still have a lot of work to do. Last year, they were voted last. We'll
10.
tell you where they've been voted this year as we continue on from Twin Peaks in Glendale.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks,
Hello.
Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and wild gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Hi, I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Recently, Lerner & Rowe was named the 2nd most influential law firm in the United States. Although we have offices in other parts of the country, Glenn and I both live here and raise our families here. We are your local law firm. No other law firm in the state comes close to the experience, reputation, and results as Lerner & Rowe. When you're hurt in a wreck and need a check, call the law firm that can get you the results you need. Call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Book lovers, are you on the hunt for incredible deals? ThriftBooks.com has millions of titles available for under $5. Stock up for back to school and beyond without breaking the bank. And grab the hottest book talk sensations at unbeatable prices at ThriftBooks.com. Read more, spend less.
Ugh, I've been feeling so sluggish and just kind of
Correct.
been there.
Do you mind doing it one more time? I didn't catch the beginning. Beautiful. Thank you so much.
This is KGME Phoenix. good.
We've got college football on the way this afternoon on Fox Sports 910 as North Carolina battles Minnesota. The action begins with a pregame at 4:30. D-backs manager Torey Lovello said first baseman Christian Walker and second baseman Ketel Marte are unlikely to return for this weekend series with the Dodgers as they work their way back from respective injuries. And the Cardinals today placed rookie cornerback Elijah Jones on injured reserve. They signed linebacker Chris Barnes to the active roster, and they also signed 3 players to the practice squad. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 80s. And then for your Friday, look for another hot day out there with temperatures right around 109 to 110. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A., copyright 2024.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. It's Thursday, and the guys are live at Twin Peaks Glendale, located at 95th Avenue in Glendale. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
D-backs in the bottom of the ninth, down by 1 with a couple outs. We'll see what happens here. Hopefully someone can come through last minute as the team is doing everything in their power to not lose a series. Unfortunately, that is not the case as the D-backs fall to the Mets 3-2. LA Dodgers in town tomorrow for a 4-game set. 4 games because they're going into Monday with Labor Day. So we will be off on Labor Day. Did you guys know that?
Yes, we did.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah. I'm glad you told me.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we're here or not.
For here or not? For Jimmy? Yeah. We have to kind of communicate with him, verbally sometimes because there's things he doesn't check half the time. So Jimmy, we're off Monday, by the way.
We're out here at Twin Peaks in Glendale every Thursday, thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. We have teamed up with everyone, that being Blue Moon and Coors Light and Twin Peaks, for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. All you do is text PEAKS to 59925. This is our biggest contest ever, as the grand prize is a Traeger grill, a Blackstone griddle, a pizza oven, a cornhole set, a portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector with an inflatable screen, a cooler, cases of Cocoa 5, a 250 Twin Peaks gift card, and Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B logoed Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. And make sure you head to Twin Peaks to watch all the football action as it all gets going in the next hour as college starts tonight. Bunch of games, 4 teams ranked, as well as Colorado and North Dakota State being the game on ESPN. So we'll get into some of that a little bit later. But The Athletic recently polled 31 representatives of NFL players to gauge their opinions on various topics throughout the league. And one of the topics was to vote on the most unstable organization in pro football. The Cardinals received three votes, which tied for third behind the Panthers and the Raiders. Wow. Now, they did something very similar last year, and the Cardinals were a landslide number 1 pick as the unstable franchise. So they have improved. But when you look at this, you would hope that if you were last year, you would want to improve a lot more than this.
You would think.
And, one quote was from an anonymous NFL agent on the Cardinals. It says, Cardinals, Kyler Murray extension is why they are stuck. Why give Kyler that extension and quickly fire the head coach who wanted him and the GM who drafted him? You can't fire the QB.
And I will say this, a lot of head scratchers, number one for that. And why you look at the urgency, especially with his agent sending a note back to the Cardinals in all caps. What was the hurry?
I remember that.
What was Kyler Murray going to do?
Yeah.
Sit out a year? Okay, so what? I mean, that was the mystery as to why that is. But, I will say this. It's so Michael Bidwell got his, or whoever wrote the contract, got his shot in about studying. So whatever that was, okay, twist my arm, but you're going to meet this criteria if we're going to pay this kind of money. Didn't understand, Rock, you and I talked about, didn't understand, what's the urgency?
Yeah.
Number two, okay, if you want this, if you're going to threaten to hold out, which they didn't want because it'd be embarrassing for them to hold out because of the head coach and the general manager still with that team, then if you're going to hold out, it was like Michael Bidwell getting his little shot at, well, then you need to study more. You need, and to put it in a contract that.
It was a video game clause.
It was
because he's apparently played video games.
And then the Cardinals, Michael Bidwell and Steve Keim had to walk it back. Go, well, we really were just, all we're saying is we want to make sure that if we're going to pay this kind of money, that we get full cooperation, full studying. If there was an issue, you would have never put that in a contract. I have never, ever seen that in a contract because of I would say the past lack of studying and past lack of being into a season that Kyler Murray was. And so I think it was kind of Michael Bidwell's shot at, okay, we're going to pay you, but we better make damn sure this is in there and that you're giving us 125% every day if we're paying this kind of money.
And how embarrassing was it that they had to come out and say, okay, we're retracting that out of the contract?
It's like, okay, what is it? He is or he isn't?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just an absolute joke. It's a mess. And I think agents that are out there, when you see this kind of report, guys, is that they're just saying, hey, look, that organization is a mess in reference to the way they handle players, the way they treat players, the way they have so many things that are getting feedback from the players themselves. Guys, we're just the messenger here, okay? As this goes on and on and on.
So the Jets, the Cowboys, the Jags also had 3 votes. The Broncos had 2, and the Commanders had 1. So just kind of looking at the other organizations that are on that list, there's something in common with all of them, with the exception of the Cowboys. Those teams have all struggled.
Yes.
Yep.
Jags have been okay, But I think one thing that has changed for this Cardinals roster is I would say it's pretty much flipped. There aren't a lot of guys still left from 2 years ago.
No, they're not. I mean,
Kyler, James Conner. I mean, there's not a lot of guys.
Yeah.
A few offensive linemen.
Yep, that's it.
But aside from that, Buddha. Yeah, so there's maybe a handful.
Well, hopefully Michael
and
Bidwell.
front office, we've seen that a lot of people have left there because of the poor working conditions, which was allegedly reported.
Well, I would hope that when Monty Ossenfort took this job as a GM, he had a good sit-down talk with Michael Bidwell and said, look, because he was at New England, he was at Tennessee, very successful organizations, that if he could bring that footprint with him to Arizona to have a very good, hey, Michael, just please, I'll need your help as far as contracts are concerned. That's it. Stay out of the way. And I think
you can't say that to an owner that you're trying to get one of 32 GM jobs. You're gonna say whatever you can to get the job.
Here's the problem. Well, I agree.
Right? I mean, part of that is case.
I understand that.
You as a quarterback, you're going to say everything you can to get that starting job.
But then again, I want to make sure that a lot of the stuff is adhered to, because if you're going to hold the reins on me for this, and this, why would I want that job? So what I'm saying is I hope Monty Ossenfort can go in there and just say, Michael, I know how this system works. I need your cooperation as far as financings. Yes, I will bounce stuff off you, but please let me do my job. And I think where Michael Bidwell, who's a huge micromanager, folks, he's involved in everything. Allow these guys, especially a guy that's successful, to do his job as a general manager. Allow Jonathan Gannon, who's come from a very successful group, Philadelphia, to allow them to do their thing and build this in a way that guys want to come here or that we have success. That's where they need Michael Bidwell's cooperation.
All right, let me follow up then. What if the wheels fall off the wagon? Let's say that they begin 1-6.
I think that's
2-7. What does Bidwell do then?
It's not going to do anything.
No, it can't do anything. He's got the guy's only second year. Both of them.
Well, no, he's let somebody go after a year.
Yeah,
I mean, he's had a short lease on some guys.
He got rid of Josh.
I don't think it's going to be Jonathan Gannon's fault.
No, I just think when you get look at Jerry Jones and the dysfunctionality they continue to have in Dallas.
Yes, but
they still win.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get that. They get win, but they can't get beyond in the playoffs.
Okay, but we would take that all day long
Sure,
as Cardinal fans.
Okay, but it's as though that organization has an assemblage you just talked about, that they've been successful of how to be successful. Now, he pays the right kind of players, okay? Just paid CeeDee Lamb a boatload. He's going to probably pay Dak Prescott a boatload.
Sure.
He keeps that in check because he can do that, and he will do that.
But you look at some of these teams that I mentioned, they all somewhat have that one person in charge. Michael Bidwell,
the Johnson,
Davis in with the Raiders, right? Jerry with the Cowboys.
So the Jets.
Jets, of course, they have Johnson.
Woody
and then in Carolina, there's that owner that no one can't stand.
I wanted to say Tetler or Teller.
Temper.
You
know, I mean,
where's Cincinnati on this? Because the Brown family's been a mess.
They have, but they're in a small market.
Okay,
Cincinnati's such a tiny market. It's like the size of Mesa.
Well, and what they've done is they paid.
No,
it's small.
No, it's much bigger than
Well,
Mesa.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Mesa,
it is.
Mesa is the 25th biggest city in the United States. It's bigger than St. Louis, Cincinnati. You can make a case it's got more people than Atlanta. I mean, it's black and white. I know you only read things on the left side.
Mesa's
Look at
got
the right
over-
side,
What
too.
the hell does that have to do with what we're discussing?
Because
here?
I had a shot. It was an
Jesus.
opportunity.
Yeah, and you fouled it off.
No, I didn't, because you don't know what you're talking about. When I said Mesa, you're laughing at me.
When I went because Cincinnati in the whole surrounding area of Cincinnati, and that includes northern Kentucky across the river, they probably have over 2 million people.
Okay,
there. Are
and-
there 2 million people living in Mesa?
What they've done is they've paid their quarterback in Joe Burrow. Now you got Chase wants to get paid too,
Correct.
so I don't know if they're going to pay him any kind of CeeDee Lamb money one way or the other. But when you look at the consistency or lack of success, that type of stuff typically follows, guys.
When we look at the city.
Okay, just the city.
Just the city, all right?
Okay, not
All
the
right.
surrounding
So,
area.
Mesa,
Yeah.
because you could, I could go Chandler, I could go Gilbert if you want to do that.
All right.
Mesa is 500,000 plus.
Okay.
Cincinnati's 309.
Okay, that's the city limit.
That's what we're talking
No,
about.
but now we're talking about the city. When you say Phoenix, it's the whole area in the valley.
But I wasn't talking about Phoenix. I
Well,
said Mesa.
I know you said Mesa.
I said Mesa,
but
yes.
when you said Cincinnati, you just
I made a
can't-
comparison that
you didn't
Cincinnati's
say-
a small city.
You said it
and
was a small
Mesa's
city.
bigger.
Yeah, okay, but you didn't say just Cincinnati within the city limits. When people hear that, when you talk about Phoenix, okay, so you live in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
When you're on the road, where do you live? Phoenix?
No, I said Scottsdale.
Oh, come on.
I live in
Swear to
Phoenix.
God.
You
I say Phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah.
I say Scottsdale.
Jimmy, what's your argument?
My argument is that you didn't clarify from the beginning that you were just talking about the DMA just within the city limits. If you would have said, how big is Phoenix city limits? It's probably 300,000-400,000.
He did his
city limits.
He said Cincinnati Mesa
He
is
said
big as
bigger than Cincinnati. And I said, no.
It
that's
is bigger than
impossible.
But it is. Mesa's bigger.
You have to clarify.
What's there to
that you're-
clarify? It's the
that
name of
you're-
the city.
No, that you're talking about the city limits.
Okay,
of Cincinnati.
I'm Michael Jackson.
When you say
I think I
Cincinnati, it's
understand.
the entire area.
I understand what he means.
Yeah.
But he's wrong.
He's totally
But
off.
basically, the first statement you said about Mesa and Cincinnati, right? You said initially that Mesa was bigger than Cincinnati, but you didn't say inside city limits.
That's
so
correct.
he said,
Doesn't need
heck
to.
no.
Why wouldn't
then
you?
you came
You
back.
need to.
Then you came back and said inside city limits or whatever, and Jimmy B still agreed, but didn't listen that you said.
That's
inside
right.
City
That's
limits.
exactly right. Yeah, Jimmy, would you please
I'm
listen?
I'm not losing this argument.
Oh my gosh, Jimmy B. Oh,
People
man.
don't realize I worked in Mesa for a long time with this park.
Right.
And one of the things that we had going for Mesa is how big it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is bigger than a lot of cities out there,
I agree
like
with
St. Louis, like Cincinnati.
Right.
When you look at the population of the
A
city of
of-
Mesa,
That's it.
not the surrounding areas.
Right. Just the city.
And that's what
of
I'm
St. Louis.
Is Cincinnati a city?
Yes.
Okay.
And that includes the entire area. When you say Cincinnati, that even takes into context northern Kentucky where the airport is. The Cincinnati airport is not in Ohio. It's in Kentucky across the river.
What the hell is he smoking?
Dude, you're
What,
really
did you
off.
take
No,
some
I'm not
gummy
off.
bears today or
No,
something?
because you have to encompass
No, you don't.
everything.
It was my statement. All I'm saying is,
what the hell?
all I'm saying is, Cincy's a small market and
Fine.
Mason's bigger than Cincy.
I agree
That's
with
all.
the small market.
Jimmy, Michael Jackson, you want
I'm
to
not walking back anything.
What the hell?
Hey, everybody
I'm
listening,
sorry,
you
folks.
know I'm right.
Oh, my gosh. He didn't get enough hugs when he was growing up, obviously. Unbelievable. We have no idea what the hell you were talking about, Jimmy.
Fair
That's
enough.
okay.
The Rails
Wow. The
have
city of
totally
Cincinnati versus Mesa.
come off.
Yeah.
I think
Charlie
Charlie Regal.
Yes, please.
Will save us next. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
I just got to look at a new crash on northbound 17. It's near Bethany Home. Right now, heavy traffic all the way back to Thomas. There's a crash on the 101 westbound near Cave Creek Road. As you approach Cave Creek, the HOV in 2 left lanes are blocked. Heavy delays back to Tatum.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2024.
Roll the dice every Monday night for your chance to win $9,100. Join Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and friends at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. It's a thrilling night filled with fun, friends, and big prizes. Don't miss out.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. Monsoon season is upon us. Be proactive today. Go to state48roofing.com. Scan the QR code below. We want to take care of you. Be proactive. Get your maintenance done. We are home of the hashtag sexy roof status.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G Protein Bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G Protein Bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
Lowe's knows Labor Day calls for big savings. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save up to $750 when you buy 2 or more select major appliances priced $396 or more. And My Lowe's Rewards members get 3 bags of premium 2 cubic foot color mulch for just $10. Because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy Sports.
D-backs manager Torey Lovello said injured infielders Christian Walker and Ketel Marte are unlikely to return for this weekend series with the Dodgers. The Cardinals held a short practice today as they get set for their season opener September 8th in Buffalo against the Bills. The first full week of college football gets underway with a 21-game schedule. 11th-ranked Missouri plays Murray State, one of 4 top 25 teams that start their season today. I'm Frank Garrity.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Let's talk Sun Devil football. Coach Charlie Regal now on Fox Sports 910 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com.
All right, Charlie Regal joins us as he is getting ready for Saturday night, FS1, nationally televised. The Wyoming Cowboys are in town. Are you ready for some football, Coach? You ready to go?
Oh, whether I am or I'm not, it's here, and we better be ready. That's for damn sure.
Coach, I'm curious, when you look at gamesmanship and playing and planning, are there any conversations with the quarterback, Sam Levitt? He played under the new Wyoming OC, Jay Johnson. at Michigan State. Is there any game planning or playbook talk when it comes to, what kind of tendencies that Jay Johnson has?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly those conversations for sure, right? And then it's obviously, hey, from those conversations, let's go watch the tape and see kind of what the track record is and what we can expect, and do those conversations that we've had in the building match up to what we see on tape, and there's certainly some of that for sure.
Charlie, you go into a game and you try to batten down the hatches in every area, knowing you guys as coaches, you guys don't miss a beat. What were some of the last things you guys wanted to get to pretty much set up going into this game that you felt comfortable that you're ready to go?
Well, I think it's just a lot of the operational stuff, right? Some of these things that you're going through for the first time, end of game situations, whether it's and in all three phases, working 2-minute drills. I think one of the things, and I know we touched on it last week, is just, reiterating the microphones in the helmets now, and making sure that we're clean on the technology of how that works and that process. That was something, that obviously was never been in the game of college football. So there's and this, Dan, right? There's so many of those little things that you could feel like, hey, you could practice a million things literally and still feel like you're not ready to go in the first game. I think that's probably just the coach's curse, right?
Between you and Kenny and Coach Arroyo, all head coaches, you being a former head coach, assistant head coach, and Coach Arroyo come from UNLV. How many checklists do you have? Is there like 35, 40 on that checklist before you finally get comfortable?
There's a checklist for the checklist to make sure that the checklist is the checklist. There's no doubt about it, but I think that's the one thing too, when you do have guys coming in from different programs and having been in that seat, there's so many guys that bring so many things to the table. You do feel really good about, in terms of just, hey, situational awareness, trying to make our guys ready for every possible situation that comes up, but not drowning in the minutia either. You still got to go out and play football and play it fast, and it's a reactionary game. So we don't want these kids hamstrung. We want them to play fast and go out and have some fun on Saturday night.
Charlie Regal is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. The best thing that is happening for ASU is that quarterback, Josh Allen, is long gone. He's not playing for the Wyoming Cowboys anymore, Charlie. The question that I have for you, can you explain to fans who are listening, please, that because it is Wyoming, they seem to think, oh, this is going to be a cakewalk. In the Mountain West Conference, Charlie, and they play some really good football.
Yeah, yes, they do. And I know that nobody in this building thinks that. I can turn on the tape and watch Wyoming last year in the fourth quarter in a one-score game against, semifinal Texas team, right? And they're on the road at Texas, and they've got them to a one score, like I said, in the fourth quarter. So this is a blue-collar program that knows how to win, and we were just talking about it, Coach Ward and myself, in our locker room here 5 minutes ago, before I came on with you guys, that, those guys are expecting they're expecting to come in here and win. It's a good football team with a good program that has a good history, won 9 games last year. For us, though, we expect to win as well. And, for us, it's to go out, play hard, execute what has been asked of our players to do, and play clean football. Don't turn the ball over. And I think we all feel if we do those things, we will win this football game.
Coach, I'm seeing, here you in week one, a little bit banged up, from the sounds of it. And I know that's part of the game, but it sounds as though listening to Coach Dillingham, he's feels good about this roster. That's much, much deeper than it was going into last season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's we have more depth than we certainly had a year ago, right? That was what we had last year. And obviously we went through some trials and tribulations there with injuries, some freak stuff last year. And, as you said, it's part of it, but we still, it's week one, and we feel good where we're at, and we feel good where our roster is. And, hey, look, the guys that we've got going in this game are ready to play, and we're excited, and I think we're going to be just fine.
What, if any, for the average layperson or fan, will we see differently, Charlie, with the offense specifically? Anything that Coach Arroyo is bringing in, not to give away any kind of a game plan, but anything that's pretty staples that we'll see more often than last year? Yeah,
well, I think one, it's going to start with the quarterback, and I alluded to that. I touched on that last week. I just think Sam is again, he's got to go out. He's young, and he's going to go through some ups and downs, just like any quarterback, and a young quarterback at that. But I just think what he brings in his arsenal, if plays break down, he does have a very good set of skills in terms of being able to extend plays with his legs. So I think that, it's going to start with the quarterback. I think you're going to see a drastic improvement there. And then I do feel really good about where our running back room is. Obviously everybody knows about Cam and what he brings to the table, but there is some depth in that running back room and some guys that can really tote the football. So I think that those will be the two things that you look at right away. Hey, these guys, can they run the football? Can we establish the run? And then, how good is our quarterback play in game one? I think obviously two important pieces for us to move forward and win football games.
Coach, speaking of Scatterborough, how many packages do you have for him?
Yeah, this kid does everything.
Does he clean the locker room afterwards?
That's part of that checklist. We got another checklist for the Scatterborough checklist. He's here, he's there. Man, we got this guy all over on special teams, out in punt formations and doing different things with him. He's a very, very talented young man, and he's really put in a lot of hard work this offseason. I'm excited to see him go this fall. I think he's in for a tremendous year this season.
Young man, we failed to mention former Red Mountain High School. Svoboda, the starting quarterback. Jimmy alluded to it. Josh Allen along there, but Svoboda, he's a big kid, Coach. I remember watching him in high school. What's he going to bring to that table for this Wyoming Cowboys team?
Well, I think it's intriguing, right? I think that obviously, he went the junior college route and then has emerged as the starter there. I think obviously coming home, kind of like Mikey Keene did with Fresno last year, right? These guys that come back here always have a little something to prove. So I think it's going to be interesting, being in his first start, back here at home. That could be good or bad, right, in terms of pressure. And I'm interested to see what he brings to the table. But just like every week, we know that in order for us to be successful, we've got to affect the quarterback, and that doesn't change. There's no difference in that this week with him being the quarterback. We got to get some pressure on him for sure.
All right, Coach. Our last one. What is your game day routine? Game day routine. You. 2 eggs, bacon, muffin. I mean, what is your game day?
10 cups of coffee.
We could have done a whole segment on this alone. Okay, it depends. It depends off when is the game, right? So right now it's hot, right? Early part of the year, so the games are mostly going to be late, right? So I'm going to get up. I'm probably not going to eat when I wake up. I'm probably going to get up, probably about 6:37, sleep in a little bit. We will have a staff meeting here in Tempe at 9. We will fast forward some meetings, a walkthrough in the bubble, and then we'll have about 4 hours between coming back and getting into actual game mode. So in that 4-hour time, I'm going back home. I'm going to stop probably at my spot over there off of Val Vista. Uncle Buck's, baby jalapeno Bucks, and get a little burrito. And then I'm just going to go chill and relax, and then but the burrito is the go-to to get me rolling, and then it's go time when we come back and into game mode. So that will definitely be the play for this Saturday. I can promise you that. Maybe even some burnt ends with that green chili burrito.
Hey, Coach, I got to correct you. You were talking.
I'm telling you, if you have not tried that place, you need to get out there and try it. It's unbelievable.
Okay. So are we have a new sponsor now, Charlie? I mean, we got Crest already.
Rock, I'm always working for the team, baby.
I love it, buddy. Keep it coming.
By the way, Charlie, you were talking about minutia. Around here, it's called the minutia that surrounds everything.
Coach, hey, that sounds like a new game we could start playing. I think we can figure that out.
I got news for you, Coach. When I get up in the morning and go to the bathroom, I take a minutia.
Oh, jeez. We'll leave it at that, Coach. Go get him on Saturday, man. Thanks for the time today.
Appreciate you, boys. Thanks. Go Devils.
That's Charlie Regal joining us. Thanks to Crest Insurance Group for sponsoring him in the Sun Devil Report. Every Thursday, Crest Insurance Group, they offer personal, business, and specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out online, crestins.com. Cards columnist Howard Balzer will join us next. He'll weigh in all the cuts, all the new signees, That's next as we continue from Twin Peaks in Glendale. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
First full weekend of college football getting started today. Among the games, North Carolina and Minnesota. You'll hear that one right here on Fox Sports 910 with a pregame starting at 4:30. The D-backs fell to the Mets 3-2 in today's series finale. They'll try to bounce back in tomorrow's opener with the Dodgers. Manager Torey Lovello said first baseman Christian Walker and second baseman Ketel Marte are unlikely to return for the series as they work their way back from respective injuries. The Cardinals placed rookie corner Elijah Jones on IR, signed linebacker Chris Barnes to the active roster, and signed 3 players to the practice squad. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
For tonight, look for mostly clear skies, temperatures dipping down into the low 80s. And then for your Friday, look for another hot day out there with temperatures right around 109 to 110. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Ty Brennan.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America N.A. Copyright 2024.
Sun Devil football is back. Don't miss a minute of the action when Sun Devil football returns to Mountain America Stadium as a member of the Big 12 Conference to take on the Wyoming Cowboys Saturday, August 31st at 7:30 p.m.
Scattaboo with the catch, has the first down, stays on his feet, and he's going to go. Touchdown, Devils!
Get your ASU Wyoming tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Ready for some football? Join our annual Pro Football Pick'em contest today. You could win $5,000 and amazing prizes from Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Don't miss out on the excitement. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Whether you're looking for a bay window awning over a breakfast nook, a shade sail or structure in your home or business, a retractable awning for your patio, or roll curtains for your screen room, the House of Canvas and Fine Wrought Iron has what you need. Beat the heat this summer and get covered by Arizona's #1 rated shade experts. Visit thehouseofcanvas.com. House of Canvas, family owned and making shady deals in the Valley for over 40 years. That's thehouseofcanvas.com.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group
Coverage ready.
with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra premium. Feature a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. That's why they've won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant and enjoy. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
Well, the world's #1 sleep aid brand has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Elf Beauty. NCAA volleyball is back, and after last year's record-breaking attendance and viewing numbers, we're primed for a fantastic season. Going to be a tough job for someone to unseat the two-time defending champion Texas Longhorns, who finished last season with 10 straight wins and a title game sweep. They topped the preseason rankings ahead of fellow 2023 Final Four squads Nebraska, Wisconsin, and Pitt. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
It comes to women in sports, Elf Beauty is all about leveling the playing field. The same goes for the boardroom, where Elf is one of only 4 publicly traded U.S. companies with a board that's 2/3 women and 1/3 diverse. Learn more at elfbeauty.com.
He's been covering the National Football League for 48 years. He currently works as Arizona Cardinals lead writer for GoPHNX.com.
Your life?
A longtime Hall of Fame voter, Howard Balzer, now on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Oh, we got the wrong open there for Howard. Howard, of course, is not with GoPHX anymore, but Howard is, of course, with USA Today. So we apologize for that, Howard. Sometimes we hit the wrong button. Jimmy, we let him drive, so that was not a good idea.
Blaming it all on
Blame
me
it on
again.
Jimmy.
Why
So
not?
how you doing, Howard?
Well, I do realize it's hard to keep track of me.
Very true.
I'm coming up. You guys might remember this. Tomorrow is the 4-year anniversary, not of the date, but on the Friday of Labor Day weekend, as I was around Springfield, Missouri.
Driving, yes, we remember.
Yes, on my way to Phoenix, moving here. And now I'm in my 5th year of covering the Cardinals for the 3rd different outlet. So I've got as many outlets in Phoenix that I've covered the Cardinals for than I do wide. So that's pretty good.
Very good. Very good. Well, thanks for being a pro about it, man. We appreciate it. All right. The dust hasn't settled yet, at least according to Jonathan Cannon. But of the moves in the last 48 hours, any of them you scratch your head and say, why did that happen?
There was a few that I said, and that's a little bit that I didn't expect. I'm not going to say surprised because I'm never surprised anymore. But it was interesting because yesterday, one of the ones I asked him about in his press conference with the media was the release of Chris Barnes. Not that he's the difference between making the Super Bowl or not, but he's a solid player, good inside linebacker, good on special teams, and it left them with only 3 inside linebackers on the roster. Well, here we are a day later, and after the rookie draft pick, 3rd rounder cornerback Elijah Jones goes on injured reserve today, Chris Barnes is back. He was added to the practice squad immediately, and then today is added to the roster. So there's a good example of the dust never settles, and I always laugh when people call Tuesday the final cut. So that one was a little, I didn't expect it. Everyone seems up in arms about Michael Carter. And I understand he was, pretty good in certain situations. He's back on the practice squad. But essentially, they went with 2 guys. One, Emari DeMercado, who's a good 3rd down back, which Carter can be as a pass catcher, but he's not a blocker. And that's a lot of times what you need to have in there, and pass protection. And DJ Dallas is probably going to be part of the return game. So keeping Carter would have been keeping 5 running backs, which means if he's active, it's only because there's injuries, because he's not going to play on special teams, and so he'd probably be inactive. So there's a few, but nothing, like I said, nothing overly shocking. Even though some people go nuts because oh my goodness, let's stop the NFL. The Cardinals didn't claim anybody on waivers yesterday, right? And I'm looking at the list of 26 guys. And I would ask any one of those people who have said that to look at the list and tell me, A, if you ever heard of those guys, and B, if you really think that any of them would be better than who the Cardinals have on the roster. So, there's a lot of overreaction. They did sign an interesting guy, though, Everyone kind of missed this. Julian Okwara, who is an outside linebacker. Everyone's saying, well, they didn't do anything to help the edge rush. Didn't do anything. Well, they signed him, played 4 years with the Lions, and I think was not a good fit for his skill set because he's not really a 4-3 outside linebacker. He's more of an edge guy on a 3-4. So who knows? We'll see if he's able to come in and and make any kind of impact. So the practice squad's now set, at least for now. Jonathan Gannon said the dust really won't settle until Monday when they start prep for Buffalo. But even then, we know there'll be changes after that because that's just the way of the NFL.
Howard, the Desmond Ridder getting cut surprised me a little bit, but the way I look at some of these cuts, Michael Carter, Barnes, and Desmond Ridder, the Cardinals are fortunate if their strategy was to go ahead and release them. Hopefully nobody picks them up and then bring them back at a lower salary, put them on the developmental, and then at some point, if they have to activate him, so be it. Do you think that might have been part of the, as far as financial moves to do some of that?
I think with Carter, it very well could have been, because through performance escalators in his contract, his base salary this year was I think a little under $3.4 million. And well, that's a little high for a guy who's going to be at best, your fourth running back. And so I think that was definitely part of it. He's on the practice squad now. So if he comes back on the roster, guess what? He'll sign a contract for the veteran minimum. And
Yes.
so, yeah, I think the Barnes one wasn't as much about that, because I think that, he was around a minimum salary. Ritter was a bit more as a third round. No, he was on a minimum salary also. And I think with the quarterback, they just thought he'd get through waivers. So they bring him back on the practice squad. Gannon said yesterday that the competition is ongoing, and Clayton Tune knows there's competition every day. And he explained, which I wrote about on Cards Wire today, that, they have portions of practice even in the regular season where they're not doing scout team stuff. They're doing real football, and that's a time for backups and guys on the practice squad to show that they're improving. So it's not a finished deal that forever Clayton Tune is going to be the number 2 quarterback. So, there's a lot of those different decisions that, come into play when you're doing your roster. And let's say this, a lot of it is, you get 2 elevations from the practice squad each game, right? Well, if you're deciding who to elevate, and sometimes it's better, there's flexibility. You bring a guy up from the practice squad rather than have someone on the active roster, the 53, who's going to be part of the initial 46. But with Carter, let's say, you got a running back pick, or you got this, or you got that, and they want to play him in a game. Well, they just elevate him, and then he makes the minimum salary instead of the practice squad for that week. And the minimum salary obviously is a lot lower than what he was getting before. So, all of those different thoughts go into not only the Cardinals, obviously, but all teams as they're slashing this roster to 53 and adding guys to the practice squad.
How would you define the rule that came down about the emergency quarterback scenario that just came down? Can you define that exactly? Is that 3 days before you have to activate him on the 53-man roster versus the emergency quarterback situation that you could almost call that the Brock Purdy rule of a couple years ago?
Right. 2? It definitely is the Brock Purdy rule, and it was in play last year. And there, it was about half the league kept 3 quarterbacks. And so the only way you could have an emergency quarterback was to have a quarterback on the roster, on the 53. And then, they're just an extra guy, and they can only play in certain circumstances if the other 2 guys, get injured. Well, this year the league wanted to change it so you could have a quarterback on the practice squad and have him be the emergency quarterback. And for some reason, the NFLPA didn't want to do that. And what they were going to do also is, other players that have to go through the waiver system, if you can only be elevated a free elevation where you come up and go back without having to go through waivers, you can only do that 3 times with guys. And so if you want to do it more, then you're probably going to have to put them on the active roster.
Right.
Well, with the emergency quarterback on the practice squad, with the practice squad quarterback, they wanted that to be unlimited. So the speculation is, because the NFLPA hasn't said anything, that they didn't feel it was fair to have a quarterback locked on the practice squad that could be elevated any number of times, or at least the emergency quarterback any number of times. Well, here's the thing with that. I mean, you would probably have a lot more teams signing quarterbacks to the practice squad if they knew they could use them for the emergency quarterback. And the bottom line is, you've got 16 or 17 guys on the practice squad anyway. You've got 53 guys on the 53-man roster. So what's the difference how that's made up? So I don't understand why the NFLPA did that, but they decided they weren't going to go along with it, and so it reverts back to what the rule was last year. You have to be on the active roster of the 53 to be named the emergency quarterback.
Howard, as always, buddy, thanks for the time. Sorry about the goof up in the beginning, but that won't happen again. So thank you so much.
No problem. And I just want to say real quickly, there's some big news today, real quick, because 61 years ago in November, I can remember as a young boy watching Walter Cronkite on the news announce the tragic news that John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Yes. Well, of course, the journalism department at ASU is named after Walter Cronkite. Well, huge news today, guys.
I mean, this is a long time coming. The winner of the 41st Walter Cronkite Award for Excellence in Journalism is, do we have a drum roll? Wolf Blitzer.
Wow.
The Wolfman.
Oh, my God.
The Wolfman.
Out of Buffalo.
Oh, wow. All
The
right.
Wolfman. He'll be coming to Phoenix. I think it's in next February
Cool.
for the big dinner and the award.
That's great.
So there we have it. Wolf Blitzer.
Okay. All right. So breaking news there, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Howard Balzer. You'll be number 42. So we appreciate
I'm sure I will be. Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Howard Balzer joining us. Follow him on Twitter at HBalzer721. That's HBalzer721. He is courtesy of our friends here at Twin Peaks. You're looking for a place to have your fantasy football draft?
Yes.
We'll have it here. And if you are the commissioner, they'll hook you up with a $50 bonus card. And everybody on your team will get a $5 bonus card. Just head into any of the 5 Valley locations and set up your draft at your fantasy draft, that is, at Twin Peaks. 5 locations. Coming up, what's on tap? Give you an update on what the Diamondbacks did today, and then we'll finish up here at Twin Peaks in Glendale. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 9.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
US 60 Superstition Freeway westbound near I-10. We have an accident being reported. Also 101 Price Freeway southbound near University. Crash off right. HOV and left lanes are blocked by a wreck. 101 Pima Freeway westbound near Cave Creek Road.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Are you sick of fat diets or tired of overpaying?
I was
for
building a
name brand weight
list
loss
for
meds?
you of the
Semaglutide
audios we don't
and
have,
tirzepatide, now
including the
available
one
at
that
Metier
includes
Clinical
First Light and
Services.
Blue Moon.
These injectables are revolutionizing weight loss, starting at just $275 per month. Transform your health today, whether in Arcadia or online at metierpharmacy.com.
I'm building an email with the
Contact Metier Clinical Services at 602-835-2675. Visit metierclinicalservices.com. Consult your healthcare provider before starting any weight loss program.
Introducing Smidge, the game-changing, ready-to-drink beverage that's shaking up the market. With just 2.5% alcohol and only 50 calories in a 12-ounce serving, Smidge is perfect for the sober curious. Smidge better taste, fewer calories, and double the fun. Try it today.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
I'll update the system. Thank you.
Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites.
Is it time for an all-in-one wireless printer with tons of connectivity options? With Document Solutions of the Valley, you can buy, lease, or rent models that work off of your smartphone. Call 623-252-8282. Document Solutions of the Valley. Our service can't be copied.
Looking for the perfect summer escape? You'll find it at Talking Stick Resort during Summer Playcation. From a refreshing $139 a night with exclusive spa and cabana specials, $25 in free slot play, and no resort fee for Arizona residents. Plus, amazing deals at Talking Stick Entertainment District, including Talking Stick Golf Club, Octane Raceway, Odyssey Aquarium, and so much more. Summer Playcation through September 30th at Talking Stick Resort.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Smith at second, Perdomo at first. Corbin hits it high in the air.
Your life?
It's a fly ball to right field, and it's gone. He did it again. Corbin Carroll is back, and it's 8-5. Unbelievable. How many times can this team come back? They have bounced back, and they have answered back. Corbin just launched it to right center field.
There you have it. That was the call of the day. Thanks to Lerner and Rowe as Carroll goes yard. A granny went yard twice yesterday as the D-backs won yesterday. However, today in the matinee with the Mets, they fell 3-2. So the Mets got the series. But it's all right. You got the one that really matters is the one that starts tomorrow with the Dodgers in town. Here's what's on tap. A lot of college football started. Howard at Rutgers. They are in the second quarter. And Rutgers is only up 7-0. And they are a 36.5-point favorite. So I'm glad I put my money on Howard.
You're on fire.
Arkansas Pine Bluff is got at Arkansas 4:30 on ESPNU. Murray State at Missouri on the SEC Network starts at 5. The North Carolina-Minnesota game has been moved because of inclement weather, so that'll start later tonight.
9 o'clock.
Coastal Carolina, is it our time, 9 o'clock?
East Coast time, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So it'd be 6 o'clock here.
Okay, it was 5, so only an hour. Coastal Carolina and Jacksonville State, that is 5 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Colorado hosting North Dakota State. It's a game that I want to watch, 5 o'clock on ESPN.
Yep.
Eastern Illinois at Illinois, 6 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. And Sac State at San Jose State on True TV, 7 o'clock. So those are your games tonight. The It's Your Call question A brought to you by State 48 Roofing is, how many games will the Diamondbacks win this weekend against the Dodgers? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Currently right now, number 2 is, I should say 2. 1 is 44.4%, followed by 3 at 33.3%. I voted 2. I think it's
I
a
voted
split.
3.
I do it in 2.
Love to be sub to 3.
I'm hoping 3.
Yeah.
By the way, we'll catch up with Jerry Harrison Jr., part of the Dodgers Broadcast Network tomorrow, talk about Ohtani et al. At 1:30 tomorrow. Also, a little more Sun Devil talk tomorrow, 3 o'clock. The color analyst, Jeff Van Rapport, will join us. And then James Jones of Fox Sports will join us at 3:30. A lot of football talk. And then we'll get our over-unders from the one and only Kevin Rowe for our Lerner and Rowe picks. Going to get that all started tomorrow as well.
Are you going to announce the Ayuk signing?
Yeah, we're getting right now. 4-year deal, $120 million. Kind of talked about that last week. These are around the $30 million range. Yep. $76 million guarantee. So they got it done. So the next guy to get done for the Niners is Trent Williams, which I think they'll probably get that done by the weekend or early next week. But Brandon Ayuk going nowhere fast. I think you realize he's not going to get CeeDee Lamb money.
There you go.
Or Jefferson money. But this is close enough. But the money that we were talking about was that guarantee. Wasn't going to get $100 million.
No.
So that suffice to say $76 million guaranteed over that 4-year contract to the tune of about $30 million a year. Not a bad deal.
I'll take it.
Maybe get back to practice now. Since he got released by the doctors, he's good to go. Didn't show up. So maybe that one-day holdout might have got the attention of John Lynch and the 49ers. All that going strong.
So there you have it. If you missed anything, go to rockandmanuch.com. Our fan pick'em is there. So get in our Twin Peaks fan pick'em, our fantastic Peaks contest. All you got to do is just text Peaks to 59925. The Traeger Grill, the Blackstone, everything else that's part of that deal. A really good deal. But football season's here.
Yeah, it is.
We're finally here. You know, this is what we've been waiting for this Thursday, that being today, to start watching some college football, get it going. The honeydew lists are all done for the summer.
Sure.
Now it's football season. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Would you say this is the best college football weekend of the year? Maybe next to the bowl game weekend with the I think
it's normally the middle of the season, like October, because you kind of have had teams that played 4 or 5 games. You know where they are,
right?
And they're playing either like a Oklahoma, Texas, or it's a battle of a rivalry, and that's where
Oregon,
the games
Ohio
matter.
State, yeah. I mean, look. There are some really good games this weekend, and we have discussed obviously some of those, particularly USC and LSU. And Rock made a very good point where he talked about if the game was at LSU in what they like to call Death Valley, you would think that they would put a hurt on them.
Yeah.
But the game is in Las Vegas. And how many Trojan fans are going to make that trip? LSU travels. I mean, if that stadium is not 65% LSU fans, I'll be shocked.
I think the other one, too, is the Notre Dame Texas A&M game.
Yes.
That's going to be a great game. But, the Death Valley, the heat, humidity, and mugginess is what wears down a lot of teams. But playing at Allegiant Field in Vegas, covered, controlled environment, make it a different kind of game.
Watching this Rutgers-Howard game, which is somewhat of an embarrassment that Rutgers is only up 7-0 on Howard. One thing you're going to see a lot of this weekend is these college coaches that have the headset on as well as have a walkie-talkie in their hand because of the new rules that allow communications amongst the players and the coaching staff. And I think that's going to be interesting.
I was going to say on that too, North Dakota State plays Colorado tonight.
Yep.
North Dakota State and all the FCS schools aren't allowed helmet communication. So NDSU just for tonight purchased it so they could play Colorado. They don't have to do the whole sign.
I thought it was all college football was allowed.
FCS
really?
Allowed.
They're smart.
No.
Wow. Well, I tell you, for that, help that quarterback out a little bit.
Why?
Get less communication. College
Suck
football,
it up.
especially those. Hey, I had to. I had.
There are a lot of coaches that don't like it.
Yep.
There's been some that have been pretty outspoken about it.
I like it when the sidelines and they hold up different signs.
I do too.
It just cracks me great.
We had the signals, but I think what it'll help is a lot of the quarterbacks because they can communicate up to 10 seconds prior to them having to cut it off, especially for a young guy. There's only a couple like true freshman quarterbacks that are starting in college football that can add a little more enlightenment to the play, give them a couple more tidbits about the play, about the defense. So I think it's about damn time that they finally got this thing going.
Come on.
The minor leagues of the National Football League.
Instant replay sucks.
You got.
Come on.
They're making the money. There are minor leagues of the National
Let
Football
what
League.
happens on the field happen on the field.
I love it.
What do you need all this technology
Unless
for?
it's your team, Rock, and there's a bad call, then you're screaming, you should have reviewed that. You should have reviewed it.
I'm pretty much even keel on that. I don't like instant replay, never have. I like what happens on the field happens on the field. I mean, it's part of the game. And there's going to be mistakes.
There will be.
It sucks, but I don't know. That's just the way I
If a mistake can be
30.
corrected, you go ahead and make it. Got to have instant replay. Love the communication.
I
Let's play football.
I just don't like the fact that it's questionable. Like, within 2 minutes,
20.
They're just if they're going to do it, they need to be all in on everything.
And the 2-minute rule is there as well too.
Geez. Hey, we thank Twin Peaks Glendale for having us. Tomorrow we'll be out at Wright Toyota. Jazz, great job today. Jax, Jimmy B, Manuch, I'm Rock. Have a great night. See you back here tomorrow, 1:00.